around here. Sorry.
It's always off.
Okay, alright. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For real zeros.
Alright, on 1. 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of With Disadvantage, our D&D podcast. I have a little bit of an apology to make this week. Last week I screwed up our recording, and sadly it was one of the best sessions of our game that we have ever had, even though nothing happened. So
Arguably.
arguably. So the story didn't progress, but we put on an epic concert inside the tavern in the middle of Phandalin, and it was pretty good. I think the players spent a whole second day, right? We're on like day 3 now when you guys wake up.
Yep.
And so we spent the whole second day basically just getting the gang back together, and then apparently deciding to put on a concert inside the tavern and getting the attention of the entire town, and basically put the town on the map. People from all over have heard about this concert now. It was the best thing they had ever seen. Hava Beer was on the drums. Who else do we have? Shenanigans. What were you playing?
I think it was bagpipes, but we didn't take a long rest after that.
That's right, bagpipes. And then I think Bunsen came in and formed himself into a lyre. I never figured out how to pronounce that. Yeah, herself, excuse me.
And a liar, yeah.
And for 2 varying degrees of success throughout the performance. And then
And Lulu's pants were on fire.
and then Mirama, you want to tell us what Sakapunto did?
Oh, I can't remember what Sakapuno did.
I was waiting for you to say, I sing!
And you know what? But Sakapuno is an honorable man, and he sang his heart out.
Yes, he did. Sakapunto definitely sang, and sang well. And so, anyway, so we spent the entire time there. Where did we leave off? Did you guys? I think it fizzled out, and you guys didn't go to bed? Is that what you said, Rainbow?
No, we was going to the crappy bar. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
And Karen was walking to the crappy bar.
That's right. So you guys were headed down to the.
Don't forget, there's one thing that did happen in that Lulu broke into somebody's house.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So let's recap a little bit. So Lulu found herself up on Tanith Station with Fitz, where you left off the week before, and you made your way down to the lab. Actually, and then you ended up last week. You were in the lab, and then made your way back up to the station, where Fitz proceeded to at least halt the degradation of the stasis field holding Tanith together. And then Lulu decided to leave him there since he seemed to be busy with what he was working on, and went back down to the lab. And then you used the transport rings there to make your way to one of the ring platforms on Toril. And you happened to pick the one that was at the mansion that the party had come through in the previous time loop. And you made your way through town. And Lulu, it was nighttime, and Lulu, the first house she encountered with a light on inside, with a little old, was he a dwarf?
Yes.
Little old dwarf man sitting by in a rocking chair in front of the hearth, reading a book. Lulu busted through his side window
Accidentally.
and scared the bejesus out of him, but then offered him gold in exchange for the accident, and he was all about the gold and let her stay the night. And then the next day, Lulu made her way into town, along with, who were you with? Weren't you with somebody?
Oh yeah, Codeman's character.
Oh, that's right, Zurok. So Zurok's emitter came to life, and he was present for a little bit. Him and Lulu made their way into town, and they sat kind of in town right around here. For those that are watching the video, you can see the little area right here in the center of town. Meanwhile, the rest of the party was right inside here, inside the Stonehill Inn, where there's a tavern on the left side as you walk in, and the rest of the party started putting on a show in the tavern, and it got the attention of the entire town, including Lulu, who then realized that it was her companions. So Lulu joined in. We spent the rest of the session putting on that epic concert, and then everybody, as the concert died down, and you guys did an encore. You made your way downtown to the Sleeping Giant, which is just this little dirty tap house at the end of town.
Between ending the encore and heading to the Sleeping Giant, we had a feast, and Lulu got drunk.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, we did have a feast. It was on the house, too. The bartender brought out just everything that you guys could imagine, everything that you could want, drinks and food, and you guys helped yourselves. Yes, and Lulu and Shenanigans both got drunk, right?
No, I didn't get drunk. I
Oh,
just handed her the alcohol.
For some reason, I thought you were. Okay, so just Lulu. And Lulu, your metabolism, you did not realize how quickly it was going to react with alcohol, and you are pretty shit-faced at this point, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's just go around the table real fast. As usual, I'm your host, Chev. For those of you who are listening for the first time, I live in Utah. I'm a programmer for a solar panel company, and I play D&D in my spare time. So that's all about me. Move on to you, Kayron. Just a real quick little intro.
My
Anyone
name,
who's new?
my name is Kayron. My real name is Alan. I'm from Miami, Florida. And on my spare time, when I'm not working full time, I like to play D&D, video games, and that's about it.
All right, Lulu.
Hello, I am Munson Jago. I am a college student in Michigan, and I am majoring in computer science and video game development.
Awesome. Shenanigans.
Hi, I'm Shenanigans. I play a sometimes goblin, sometimes slime folk. Am I saying it right?
Sime Volk. No L.
Slime Volk. Druid,
Sure.
and I am.
Close enough.
I'm drinking some. I'm not going to tell you the brand. Cherry vodka. If you're a company that likes to sponsor us and send us free drinks, please contact Chev.
Okay, is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Furla?
I am Boris, and I play Furlough Stabkins. In my spare time, I like stabbing people, generating swords out of thin air, and occasionally face palming at what my party is assigned to do with their time.
Like putting on big useless concerts when the world's about to explode?
Yeah, pretty much sums it up.
All right, and then Sacapunto.
My name is Mirama. I hail from Wisconsin. I play the bugbear Sacapunto, and you're listening to Drinking and Dragons.
Drinking and Dragons. We are not affiliated with Drunks and Dragons. Send all correspondence to Mirama.
Ah, I didn't know there was another thing. I thought I was being clever. Instead, I'm just drunk.
That's okay. And then this week, we do not have Hava Beer with us, so I'm going to go ahead and remove his token from the board here. As usual, when we have players who are missing, we just kind of pretend their character is tagging along with the group. It's easier than trying to come up with cheesy narratives for why they're not here every time. So that's where we'll be. I will periodically maybe have Hava Beer chime in or something, but if you don't hear anything about him, then just realize he's there in the background.
Just
I would
imagine
like
Mr.
to,
Krabs with a southern accent.
I would like to make a roll. I would like to attempt to pickpocket have a beer.
Okay. Maybe I should leave his token on the board and just kind of make it tag along. All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna put a rule down for the first time. I don't think I'm gonna let you do that to a character who's not here.
I didn't think he was.
Yeah. So I'll have him tag along.
That's Rainbow testing the limits.
For interactions, but yeah, let's not do that. Okay. So you've just approached the sleeping giant. It's dark out now at this point. You guys are the town's still a little bit abuzz with just general excitement. They've just never ever in their lives seen anything like this go down, especially in their little town of Fandolin. So everyone who walks by you, periodically someone will walk by taking a cart home for the night, and they'll just be like, hey, and those kind of wave at you like, great concert.
Do any of them react to me being visibly drunk?
No, you guys haven't stopped to interact with anyone, on a one-on-one basis enough for them to probably even realize.
So I'm gonna turn to Furlough Stabkins and go, hey Furlough, why don't you put one that disguise like you're one of them and find out all the information that way?
Disguise myself as who?
One of those red thingamajiggers.
I'm pretty
Those
sure that's
red
Jason.
thingamajiggers.
Yeah, the red brand gang.
Well, you see, the only problem with that is that they don't, at least not as far as I've seen, wear a consistent uniform.
They don't have a red cap on?
They did. They were wearing like a red bandana. That was about it.
Codeman joined.
Oh,
Cool, man.
Codeman, are you gonna play?
I was thinking about it if I'm not crashing it too bad.
No, you're not. All right, so Zurok, you fizzled out a little bit during the concert, not knowing how to play an instrument, being a computer program. But you come back to life here as your emitter sputters and sparks and you pop right out of the backside of Lulu, who picked up your emitter.
And is drunk.
And Lulu is now drunk. So Lulu, you see this as Zurok, this hunter, which is a hologram, but he looks like a human ranger. He materializes behind you, and you through blurry vision recognize him ever so slightly as Zurok. Kind of surprised, it takes you by surprise.
I think I'm a little too drunk to be surprised, to be honest.
I think that Lulu should have to roll to make see if she throws up on him or not.
I don't think Slam Bolt will throw up.
Okay.
So I turn back to Furlong and go, why don't you do that? Pretend to be one of them, and we can sneak in behind you, and if you get in trouble, we'll come in and help.
This run by me again when you have ever successfully been good at sneaking.
We're just gonna walk in, pretend like we don't know you after a minute.
I mean, what do the rest of you think?
This kind of looks pretty.
The sky looks
What about-
pretty. Is that what you
What
said?
about you now?
The colors.
What do the sober parts of the party think about this one?
I would like to point out that my appearance is I'm slightly melting into myself.
And I was just gonna add to that, as you're slightly kind of looking melty, Nelly pops out looking like a melting scoop of ice cream and kind of splashes on the ground like.
Hi, Nelly.
She kind of loses. She tries to form up to get close to your face and loses her balance as she turns into a skinny rod shape and then falls on the ground and rolls across the street over this way. And then she gets back. Then she gets back up and slowly football shapes her way over back to you.
Great. I drunkenly pick her up and put her back inside.
Okay. All right. She's kind of. You try to pick her up, and she kind of melts into a little bit of a just kind of slimy goo, and then you have to cup her up like you're cupping up with some liquid, and then you finally are able to grab her.
What do you think, Alsagaputo?
So we're at the sleeping giant, but we're not inside yet.
Yeah, you guys are
Yeah,
just
we're
outside. It's dark. There's a few lanterns on the sides of the street further into town, but as you've walked more this way, you've left the area where they've cared to light anything outside.
Sakapuno looks inside just to look in a direction and then whispers to Furlough, "We have to find answers."
Did you hear the plan that I said about him using disguise?
Yeah, and that's Sakapuno's response.
Okay.
All right.
Roll a d20.
I lean on Furlough's shoulder and I say to him, "I want to tell you your face is colored funny."
That sounds kind of racist.
So,
Furlough leans over to Lulu. But yours is the funniest of them all.
Lulu just laughs at that.
Okay. Havabeer getting impatient. He pushes his way past Lulu and Furlough and walks right through the saloon doors inside. He's like, let's get some answers in here. We've already handled this once before. Let's get a move on. We wasted a whole day already. Apparently he's Scottish now. Sorry.
He's the reason we wasted the whole day in the first place.
So Havabeer's not
Doesn't
here,
that
huh?
sound just like Havabeer, though?
so Furlough, quickly get in your disguise and beat the living shit out of him.
That is a very tempting idea.
I drunkenly follow behind Havabeer.
I grab Lulu before she can do it.
Let's roll if you succeed.
All right.
I have advantage.
I get advantage and you get disadvantage because you're drunk.
Wait, what are you trying to do to her?
I'm trying to grapple her and stop her from going inside because she's too drunk.
Okay. Yeah, I will say you do have disadvantage, I guess, Lulu. That would make sense
okay.
to me.
Do I roll d20?
Yeah, so you need to. So if
What?
it's a grapple challenge, you get to choose athletics or acrobatics to roll, Lulu, and you have to roll athletics shenanigans.
Oh, and that's 20.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. All right, so Lulu, you drunkenly try to make your way inside, and Shenanigans wraps his slimy, toxic body around the outside of you, and just kind of you start to feel the sizzle, and he holds you in place.
What's up, friend?
I said, yo, you gotta stay here. You're too drunk.
I want to have fun with you guys too.
And we got a plan that you're gonna mess it up if you go in there drunk. Haverbeer's already doing a good job of that.
Alright, can I roll to try to escape his grapple? But I'm not motioning toward the door, I just want to get out of the grapple.
Yeah, go ahead and roll athletics or acrobatics check again.
Alright, at disadvantage?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? At this point, so because you were being surprised because you were drunk and didn't notice, but at this point, you're kind of at the stage where you don't know your own strength, so no.
Alright.
I am gonna let Lulu go, and I'm gonna put her away from the door, so I'm still between the door and her.
Okay, so he lets you go. I still want you to roll your check, Lulu.
Okay.
Okay, so right as you're forcing your way out of Shenanigan's grasp, he lets go, and you kind of go flying outward and kind of stumble over the first step on the porch, and you fall face first, and then your face splashes into the ground, sucks inward, and then reforms out the top, and you're like, hey!
I look at Frodo, hurry up and get in there. You can really seal the deal by beating up Haverbeer.
Question.
Uh-huh.
Did I take bludgeoning damage from that?
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna sit beside the front door then.
All right, you guys are free to do whatever, or should I jump to what Haverbeer's up to?
Are you
I'm
there?
hold on, guys. Let's see what dipshit does.
All right.
I'm inclined to see what happens.
Did anyone follow him inside, or are you just waiting outside to see what commotion happens?
I mean, I try.
But anyone else?
I'm definitely waiting outside to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
gonna wait outside to see what happens.
You
If it
guys are-
doesn't go well, I'm gonna go in and help.
Okay, so you guys are all waiting outside patiently and quietly, and you hear him in there, and you just hear him saying something that you can't quite make out. He's made his way further inside, so his voice has gotten more muffled, and it's hard to hear. This goes on for probably about 5 minutes, and then you stop hearing any sound at all.
All right, Sakapuno immediately goes after him.
You're running in there after Haverbeer?
Not running necessarily, but definitely going in quickly and not stealthy.
And Lulu, you
I'm
are
gonna
too?
turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to enter.
I'm gonna turn into a horse, and I'm gonna run in.
Alright. You turn into a horse. Your pink slimy body kind of forms into this horse, and then a bunch of fur starts to pop out of your pink slimy skin, and you get fur all over your body, and then suddenly you're now a horse, or I guess hair, not fur. And you go running in right beside Sakapunto. Sakapunto and Lulu, you guys are both about to enter the saloon-looking doors, and this horse just comes running right inside and disappears into the darkness inside the sleeping giant.
Actually, you know what? Since we're entering at the same time, unless he pushes me off, I'm gonna try to ride piggyback on Sakapunto.
Okay, so you try to climb
Wait,
up. Or do you resist?
does Lulu say anything when she jumps on him?
Not of note.
Uh-oh, Lulu's gonna get punched.
No, I think Sakapuno is definitely going to react to confusion and then trudge forward.
Yeah.
Are you
Wait,
going?
no.
Sorry, you're not going to resist though after you realize what's happening?
No, I don't think Sakapuno will resist.
Yay!
I mean, he carries around the poisonous, acid baby all the time.
Except for that one's tiny. Lulu is maybe slightly smaller than you are, but she's like the size of a regular humanoid. And
Sakapuno sees what's going on,
as
though,
you
so I
walk
think he would
past-
just kind of be like, hear grumble, and then...
I want an acrobatics check from you, Lulu.
Okay. 18.
Okay. All right. So as Sacapunto kind of fast walks by you to get in the saloon, and then Sacapunto has to stop for a split second as this horse goes careening through the saloon doors, and you take that opportunity to you just kind of wrap around her back and just climb all the way up onto her shoulders, and you just feel this goo on the back of your neck and your shoulders, Sacapunto, and then all of a sudden these legs form hanging down in front of your shoulders. And Lulu's humanoid shape reforms on top of you, sitting on your shoulders.
Sakapuno is grumpy about it for a minute and then trudges on because now his new mission is to do this and carry Lulu's drunk ass around.
All right, so you bust through the saloon door, and you find a horse that's just kind of looking around, not knowing what to do. But you don't see anything going on inside this tavern. In fact, it's completely dark. There's not even a lit lantern.
Where's Have-A-Beer?
You don't see Have-A-Beer.
I'm gonna roll, see if I can drunkenly take out and light a torch.
Okay.
I mean, we did destroy this tavern last time, so why not?
I'm not letting it on fire. I just want to see.
You're lighting a torch? Okay. I don't think you need to roll for that.
I mean, I'm drunk. I probably should.
All right, if you want to roll, what?
Dexterity?
Either that or performance. Like how well
Ooh,
you
that
perform
would be
the
a good one.
task. All right, let's do performance.
I would say athletics because he needs to be able to keep it up and not.
Yeah, but he's not like
Sleight
moving
of
his
hand.
body for it though.
We need to roll an athletics check to see if you keep it up.
Ooh, sleight of hand would be good too.
Okay, guys, what am I rolling?
Performance check, please.
Wouldn't a
Oh,
performance
sleight of
check
hand.
be for keeping it up too?
Yeah, sleight of hand is good. That's fine. You rolled performance. Okay, so you pull out this torch and it slips for a minute in your drunken grasp and it falls, but then you manage to stretch out and grab it again, and then you hold it out forward and you light it. And as the flame appears, those of you who don't have dark vision can now see better inside this tavern. It's completely empty. It almost looks abandoned because it's so run down and old. I mean, it looks the same as you guys recognize it from last time, but now with no activity and no light, it just looks even more like it's just abandoned at the end of the town here.
Oh, is there anything like in the bar area? Like, does it look like it was recently used?
So there is one shelf behind the bar that actually has some clearly, obviously, recently used bottles of some type of alcohol, and you can see that the dust on the shelf has been disturbed. But the rest of the shelves are full of spider webs and dust, and the bar itself has one little spot that's maybe been like roughly wiped with a rag, but there's nothing else there. And if you remember, the floorboards in this place are just completely like half destroyed. Like there's a lot of places where you could step through the floor and get your leg stuck in the subfloor.
Is there a table nearby?
Kyron's gonna lean in and whisper, "Didn't this used to have people talking in it? We heard that, right? Where is everybody?"
Is there a table nearby?
Yeah, there is. There's a table right in front of the bar. It's a round table. It's got 4 chairs around it.
So I'm gonna face away from the bar and put my back against the table and I really kick that table really hard.
Okay, roll a athletics check. 22. Okay, so you kick the table with your hind leg, like your horse hind leg. Okay. You kick it backwards and the table does a table flip, and then it lands on the ground and then just kind of crumples into splinters as it hits the ground, and it breaks a few of the floorboards on the floor, the rickety old moldy wood there that's just waiting to be destroyed. And now there's a broken table and splinters everywhere. One of the chairs that was behind the table from directly opposite where you kicked also kind of broke in half.
So I'm gonna turn back into regular form and go, well, maybe he didn't even go in here.
Hold on. Okay. All right. So you turn back into shenanigans. Your pink sheen goes over your hair, your coat, I guess, and everything kind of turns into malleable liquid, and you kind of splash back down into this little blob, this little pink sort of humanoid blob.
Well, maybe he never came in here. Maybe he wasn't even real the whole time. I don't know.
Maybe he just wasn't real. Who knows? I don't know.
Are there any obvious doors or exits?
Yeah, so there's the back door that goes out that way, and the bar is kind of in the middle, and so you can walk around the bar, like all the way around the place. So the only place you can't really see is this back corner, because there's the back of the bar goes all the way up to the ceiling, like a pillar in the center of the place. So that's the only place you guys haven't been able to see. I mean, there's nothing to indicate that there would be anything there, but I'm just saying, as far as line of sight goes, that back right corner is the only place you can't directly see as you walk in.
Is there any stairs going upstairs, or is this one floor?
So you don't see any stairs.
I'm gonna roll to see if I accidentally drop my torch.
I am going to create bonfire underneath the building.
Oh God.
Never mind. It's not
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll to investigate, like see if look around, see if there's any like anything that could give a hint at why there's no one in here, even though we just heard people. So 16.
Okay, so yeah, so your keen senses clue you into the fact that it's really late, and so no one's there.
Wow.
All right.
We're so smart.
So now some time I'm sure has passed, like a minute or two, just since they walked in.
Can I roll perception with disadvantage to see if I can tell anything that he didn't glean?
Sure. Yes, and definitely with disadvantage. And then what were you about to ask, Furlough?
I'm going to walk in, kind of take a look around, and just kind of see what's going on. And then upon seeing that it's just the rest of the team in here, I am going to go ahead and cast Detect Magic.
Okay, so you walk in, and by the way, Lulu, you don't notice anything that anyone else didn't notice.
Yeah, didn't think so.
You walk in and you cast Detect Magic, and immediately you can see that there is some fire magic happening just underneath the bar. And just as you see that, you notice that Shenanigan's hands are waving around, and all of a sudden, this fire conjures underneath the bar and lights up the whole place. And since this fire is magical, you're very aware of everywhere the fire is spreading, Furlough. But you don't see anything else so far.
I look from the floor and then I look up at Shenanigans. You fucking dumbass.
I give him jazz hands. I go, whoa, either find a tunnel or have no more, have a beer.
So speaking of that particular member of the team, where is he?
And just as you say that, Havabir comes up from the back of you, and he just says, "What are all you doing?" As smoke starts to pour out of the saloon door, he's looking over.
Am I still carrying Lulu?
Near as I can tell, Shenanigans is deciding to try to one-up your dumb idea.
And then he just says, I went inside there, and I called around, and I went upstairs, and then I came back down, and I went out the back, and then I came around the front here. And now I find you're all apparently, and he looks in, lighting the place on fire.
Well, I suggest we look elsewhere because this place is on fire.
That might very well be the smartest thing you've said, actually, in the last couple timelines.
I wave at Alvabir with my torch. Hi, Alvabir.
Hi, Lulu.
Oh, he sounds so excited.
He sounds like a cowboy now.
I told you he's Southern Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, I always try to give him sort of a southern accent. I don't know why that's how I picture him in my head, so I kind of just give it my own spin since I can't do his actual voice.
All right, so can we go out of here and try to get back on the trail?
That's what I'm going to do.
Havabir says, "Arr, arr, 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 arr."
Good Bobby boy.
Make me a Krabby Patty.
Good Bobby boy.
Have a beer. Why don't you wait here in case someone comes back?
What did you say, Shenanigans?
I said, have a beer. Why don't you wait here in case someone comes back and then tell us about it?
And he just gives you a sideways glance. He's like, if it wasn't for, well, whatever. I mean, he just kind of ignores you.
If it wasn't for fuck
Alright.
off.
I'm gonna carry Lulu outside of the bar, the tavern.
Okay. All right. So you guys all make your way out into the street. Zurok, I assume you've been following everyone. Are you staying close to Lulu or anyone in particular, or?
Making my way.
Yeah, I'm just behind him smoking.
Smoking.
Right in the bar.
I got a cigar. No, he
So-
doesn't. He's smoking the Indian Reds.
So this computer program has really taken on a persona.
I think drinking does help you play this game, doesn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Codeman, I know you feel kind of out of place since you're not here all the time, but feel free to jump in and say anything your character would do. Don't feel like you have to wait or anything. Feel free.
I didn't even know where he was or whatever. I was like, wondering if I had to have like a grand spawning or something.
No, so like I said in the beginning, you materialized out in this street, and the fact that you, as a player, don't know what's going on is fine because neither does your character. So just roleplay that. Just ask people what's happening, like where the fuck are we, that kind of stuff.
Hey, dude, what the fuck's going on? No.
What is
Where did
this
I park
little
my
town?
car?
Yeah, dude, where's my car?
And so as you guys all make your way out into the street, this very dry, splintery tap house just kind of immediately, the fire makes its way up that pillar in the middle and consumes all those bottles of alcohol as they kind of burst, just as the fire lurches upward into the second floor and then up into the attic, and then now the fire is peeking out the top of the roof, and this dry wood is just succumbing to the fire faster than you guys can even imagine.
We're gonna slow walk, and not look behind us.
The person who's fireproof, like basically me, like quickly ushers everyone out, like, let's go. I'm fireproof, but you're not. Come on.
We are already out.
We're walking slowly, and we're not looking at the explosions.
Wait, when the whole building is consumed in flames, I turn to it. I'm like, wait, wasn't Alvin in there?
Avamir takes the little sprig of wheat that he had in his mouth, this little stick that he had in his mouth, and kind of throws it at your head, just bonk, and it sticks into the side of your head.
Oh, it sticks?
Yeah, because she's a slime.
Oh, okay.
I absorb the sprig.
The sprig disappears. Just as you do that, all of a sudden the townsfolk are noticing what's happening. The few people who are still outside wrapping up a few things, and the little old man comes out of his house with the shattered window, and he comes out into the lawn and is like, oh my! And then this other dude that was pushing this cart this way turns around and notices the fire, and he stops and comes back, and he's like, is everyone okay? And then another guy coming from out of the bushes over here, he's just like, that's a pretty fire.
That's a pretty fire.
I'm gonna extinguish.
My, you're a pretty boy.
Hey guys, I'm gonna extinguish and put away my torch, and I'm gonna try to take out or form and play a lyre in my hands.
Can you tell me you extinguish it by just sticking it back inside of your body and then it just goes out?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so that burns you a little bit as you do that, but yeah, it goes out, and you take the torch here, this used torch now, and then you roll a performance check with definitely with disadvantage.
Watch me roll.
Are you still riding Sakapuno?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Watch me roll 2 natural 20s.
Is he riding him like a cowboy on a horse?
Okay, so you kind of form this weird looking harp with 2 strings that are perpendicular to each other, and you start strumming them with this hand that you form. Your other hand is free, and your one hand forms into this instrument, and you start strumming it, and this guy that's gotten close to you, the only guy you can see at the moment, everyone else is kind of coming from this direction, but this guy kind of came out from under this tree, and he's just like, oh, that's beautiful. Play some more. Let it burn. Play some more.
Do I roll
I'm
performance
going-
again?
Hold on, as he's rolling performance, as he's doing this, I'm going to start walking up the hill towards the mansion, and I'm going to look back at Furlough and just kind of nod my head, and that nod that says, let's go this way, and then I'm going to start walking.
Do I roll
Okay.
performance again?
Yeah, roll another performance.
All right, with a disadvantage or normal?
with disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay. So this time you go to strum the string, and the one string disconnects from one side of the instrument and kind of absorbs back into yourself, and then you kind of try to strum the other string, and it also disconnects, and you look really confused, and then you take your other hand and you actually try to pull the strings back out of yourself and restring them, and while you're doing all this, you lose your grip on Sakapunto's shoulders. You kind of fall backwards and start to fall down with only your legs are hanging on. So like if you were to lean all the way backwards, so your head's down by Sakapunto's butt, and her legs kind of lift up, towards more of your peripheral vision, Sakapunto, as you see she's starting to lose balance. She's probably about to fall all the way off if you don't grab those ankles before she goes. Do you try?
Yeah, definitely catch her. But like, even if I try to catch her, wouldn't she just like goo drip
Melt-
down?
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll have to try.
All
I
right.
guess roll for it.
Yeah, just reflexively try to catch her.
Yeah, roll an acrobatics check.
You get a nat 1 and you rip her feet off.
Oh yes.
Nice. All right, so you realize what's happening, and you grab her ankles, and then you hunch down, you bend down forward immediately, and Lulu goes, "Whoa!" Like, and is right, and then you right yourself back up, and she's right back to her normal sitting position.
And I just
You just like perfectly reposition her.
Lulu just giggles at what just happened.
Whee!
While everyone's doing this, I'm gonna try and like start finding something to go put out the fire. At least try to like start putting out the fire for the place. Like, please, 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 please.
Okay.
Can I do a rain dance? Like to try to make it rain, maybe to put out the fire.
Do you actually have a
Rain
spell, or are you
dance.
just gonna pretend?
Just kind of. How does it start? You start rubbing your hands together.
So
And then
you guys.
start patting.
You guys are walking away. Kieran, roll an investigation check for me, and then Zurok, you're standing back there, and you're like chanting something and rubbing your hands together.
14.
Okay, so you look around and you find there's a little wooden bucket sitting right about here next to like this rundown wagon. One of the wheels is busted off this wagon, and there's like a bucket there, like maybe some sort of pail that was used to carry something at some point.
I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna go look for some water, a water source to rush back for throwing it on the fire.
Okay, roll me another investigation check.
16 plus 1.
Okay.
Hey.
Quickly thinking, you run and you jump through the glass over here on this old man's house, and you run into his kitchen, and this old man's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Because he's still standing out here looking at the fire, and you run in there and you find this big barrel that he's got in the kitchen that's got this spout on it, and you pour the liquid out of the spout, I assume.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you pull the little lever on the spout and you fill this bucket up, and you see that it's nice and full. The bucket's kind of heavy, and you take it back outside and then you throw it on the fire.
Could you have him roll to see if he jumps out a new window or the same window?
An epic jump right outside the window again.
It's fine. It's like completely busted, so it's pretty easy to go in and out of this window right now.
I just thought it'd be funny if he had like a bad roll and he jumped through a new window.
All right,
Oh,
so
okay.
Kieran, so you pop out of the window there carrying your bucket, and what do you do next?
I am gonna throw that onto the fire and hope it works. You know.
Okay,
Wait, Chev,
go ahead and roll a athletics check for me. What, Lulu?
I'm gonna throw my extinguished torch at it.
Okay. All right, so you pull the extinguished torch and you throw it into the fire, and then it just kind of disintegrates in the fire.
Hold on.
I
Is
clap
there
on
like
it.
we were just in a pub, correct?
Yes.
Isn't there like a beer keg or something? Maybe we could try to like get a couple people to help carry that out and put it
So
on the
all
fire.
that was in there was a shelf with some liquor bottles on it with some sort of
Liquor
alcohol. Like
bottles.
it just had like a skull and crossbones on it. Like you don't even know what it was. Those were already consumed by the fire. In fact, they rapidly caused it to spread through the rooftop. And so,
Okay.
Kieran, so you come out and you throw that bucket. You holding onto the bucket, you throw forward, and all the liquid shoots onto the fire, and the liquid or the fire spreads to consume all the liquid, and then kind of spreads out onto the grass
wait,
a little bit
by
where
the
the
way,
where the liquid
the
fell.
athletics,
What?
the athletics has a +2 on it, 15.
Okay, that's fine. Still same outcome.
Still same outcome. Okay. I just thought it would change something, but it didn't.
Yeah, so the fire is actually spreading towards you now, where the liquid fell out of the bucket and kind of hit the ground in front of you, and the little old dwarf man is watching you do all this, and he's just, did you just take some of my mead?
Sir, why would you have mead from a spigot?
Am I close enough to hear the old man?
It was a big barrel, if you recall.
Am I holding enough? Am I near enough to hear the old man?
No, this fire is raging and it's super loud. And plus, Lulu is trying to entertain this old man who's following you guys, this old homeless dude. And he's just like, play more, let it burn. He just keeps chanting.
Well, I mean, I gotta perform. Do I roll another performance check?
Burn the whole town down and play some more.
You can keep trying to perform, I don't care.
Well, yeah, I mean, he wants me to perform again. I might as well try, right?
Through the fire and flames, bro. Through the fire and flames. Let's go.
The whole town is waking up at this point. People are coming down the street, and oh no, what happened to the tap house? And this little old man, he comes out. He's like, they did it. They started the fire. They put on a concert, and then they started the fire.
We didn't start the fire. It was always Bernie.
Bagpipes. I'm gonna play the bagpipes. I'm gonna play We Didn't Start the Fire.
It was.
Are you guys gonna stick around? Are you gonna try and get away from this incoming crowd?
Well, I've been following Sakapuja. I assume she's still walking.
I'm gonna be asking people if they want to help try to put it out.
She's still walking?
She
still
said
AFK?
She said, yeah, she said BRB.
I'm assuming that she's still walking. We're kind of traveling away from this.
Okay, so at this point you probably made it down a ways, while Zurok and Kayron are still trying to perform their helpful quote unquote actions.
Oh, whoa, oh, yeah, yo.
Yeah, I'm trying to help as much as possible, man. Like,
I don't have any magic. Maybe I could make a water gun if I had one to copy.
Maybe you can get all your arrows out and shoot it out.
Shoot it out with an arrow.
I mean, presumably, if I go fast enough, I could probably use my flurry of blows, right, to try and put out the flames.
What is this, an anime?
Has Kieran noticed that we're no longer with him? That we started walking down the road?
That's up to Kayron, but he knows.
No, I haven't noticed. I'm practically just trying to put out this fire. So I'm gonna throw some flurry of blows at this fire. See if I can put it out through sheer force of wind on my fists. Yeah, I know. You're just like, Alan, it doesn't work this way, but 19.
Okay, so you're just trying to do flurry of blows on what, air?
I'm trying to go fast enough towards the fire since I'm fireproof. Put it out,
Yeah, feed that fire some air.
I was gonna say, I don't think blowing air into it is going to do what you think it does. Okay.
Okay. Just so that everyone's super aware. My character, 13. He's not a very learned man. Okay.
All right. So, Zurok, you're out there chanting, trying to do your rain dance, and you watch as Kayron rushes into this burning building and just punching air and zooming around as fast as he can, and you just see the flames kind of swirling around. They're spreading to the untouched walls and the whole thing. This wall on the far side over here, it loses all of its support and collapses because it just kind of falls to the ground, taking parts of the second floor with it. This building is basically not a building anymore. There's just this portion here that I'm kind of drawing a square around is the only standing portion, as the rest of it is falling down.
Time of death.
What crazy water has you drunk?
Sakapunto, are you continuing to walk down the street?
Yes, carrying my good friend Lulu and towards the mansion. Onward.
Okay, so you guys have made it pretty far, and the townsfolk kind of watched. Some of the early people to arrive watched you guys walk away, but now the whole town is focused on the burning building and kind of oh no, they're sort of sad about it, but not really. It's also the shitty part of town that nobody really goes to, so But they're kind of watching with fascination as Kayron runs around anime style, trying to stir the air to put out the fire, but is in fact enhancing the fire with everything.
Is he
does.
Naruto running?
I am Naruto running for fucking sure.
Oh no! He just got back from an Area 51 raid. And Zurok is on the other side of the street, just kind of chanting, trying to put the fire out with a magical chant. He's discovered rain dances in his database, trying them out.
Yes, the people used it.
All right, so you guys are now at the foot of this mansion. It is now probably like 2 a.m. It's pretty dark out. You've got some moonlight. The moon is, it's not a full moon, but you got still plenty of moonlight to work with.
I'm gonna start playing When the Moon Hits Your Eye on my bagpipes.
It's a good thing we're not trying to be stealthy.
Yeah.
Who needs stealth?
You fall asleep.
I'll be honest.
Yes.
I feel like my talents are wasted half the time because you people are not stealthy.
Chiron is not listening. Chiron's not hearing any of this. He's still trying. He's trying his hardest.
He's a good boy.
I'm helping.
All right, so Sacramento, you feel all of a sudden this Lulu lose cohesion, like she loses her shape and kind of just forms into this blob that kind of drapes over your head and kind of bleeds into your eyes a little bit, covers your ears, and then you just kind of hear from underneath this blob just kind of
Okay, I'm gonna stop where I am.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take out my bedroll.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of lean so that she pours out into the bedroll and roll her up chocolate Swiss cake style.
Okay, so like you use the bedroll like a roller on her on the ground, so she's like super thin, and then you kind of roll her into the bedroll so that she's like a layer in the roll.
Like sushi.
Yeah. Yeah, or like
I'm making Lulu sushi.
What are those hostess things? Yeah, the Swiss
The
roll.
Swiss cake rolls.
Oh yeah, okay. I think that's what you said in the beginning. Yeah, she's like the cream layered through the Swiss roll.
Aw, she's my little creamy bedroll. Yeah, that's what I do, and then I carry her.
You just hear from inside the roll.
I put her back in my backpack, well, with my backpack stuff, whatever, and I continue on.
Okay.
Bag holding is what it's called.
Okay. As you're doing that, you hear that weird kind of sort of snore noise, but then you also hear another one. It's like, and you realize that one's Nelly.
It's a goo kitten.
Their snores are just kind of bubbly. All right, so
I know what a kitten snore sounds like.
So Lulu and Nelly are both asleep, now rolled into your bedroll and in your pack.
Wow, they're going to be surprised when they wake up.
You know what? K-Run calls time of death for this building. He ceases performing life-saving functions and just kind of like throws his arms up. It's like, I tried. And, walks away, disappointed in himself.
The crowd behind you that's gathered kind of gasps, like, oh no.
And I'm like, I'm sorry. I tried. I take out a few like gold pieces from my thing and like hand it to them.
You throw 2 gold pieces into the crowd.
No, I don't throw it at them. I'm trying to help. I tried. I'm sorry.
All right, so the little old man who's been telling everybody what's been happening since he lives right here and has been seeing the whole thing, he sees you offering the gold piece to this woman who's standing in the front, and he immediately butts in front of her and just says, "Oh, I'll take care of it. I'll take that." And he snatches it from you.
Okay, I mean, as long as it goes to trying to rebuild this establishment.
Of course. Right after I repair my window and buy myself a new. He starts mumbling other things that he's going to do.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's right. I forgot. I did break a window. Here's an extra gold shilling.
Is that in character, or do you legit think you broke his window?
Oh, I legit
Didn't
think
he?
I did. I legit
Jumped through the
think I
window,
did.
didn't he?
Yeah, I jumped through the window. I remember you saying that.
That window's broken because Lulu already busted it.
Oh, well, either way, like, I mean, we did kind of like, fuck it up.
Yeah, let's not forget that Lulu broke into some fucking dude's house.
I thought that Lulu broke this window over here.
No, she crept along the side here and saw the little old man inside rocking by the fire, like up on that side of the house, and then she busted through the window over here.
With her big barbarian goo strength. Alright, I'm continuing with my goo sleep bag roll up the hill.
All right, so it takes probably about 45 minutes to get to the top. Do you guys do anything else? Or you want me to fast forward you to the top?
Is Kagron following us now?
Not yet.
Let's go back to him and see if he's start following us.
Okay,
I'm not gonna go back to
we'll say you made it about this far before Kairon started tossing gold to onlookers.
We're gonna keep on going. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
You guys said it was a shitty part of town, so of course he's gonna try and start like helping it, bro. Like
I'm gonna say in character. Well, I think I forgot something, but I don't know what it was, so it can't be that important.
And then the next day, Shenanigans wakes up and goes, Kevin! Oh, just kidding.
Sweet 90s reference, bro.
Meanwhile, Bunsen's like, what?
I keep forgetting he's not. Oh wow.
This Kevin you speak of.
Home Alone reference.
Yeah.
All right, so Kairon, what are you doing now? You've given the gold to them. Have you turned around and noticed that they're gone yet, or not?
Yeah, I've noticed that they're gone, and I go immediately looking for them. Be like, guys, where'd you go? Guys?
Okay, did you notice where they were headed at all, or do you have zero clue?
I was too busy fighting fire with air.
All right, so tell me which directions your character would think to maybe look. I want to know how many different directions.
All right, so he probably that's not okay. I was working. I have a laptop. I have a laptop. It doesn't work.
Just describe to us which way you think they went.
Okay. So you see where where they're Sakaputo and Lulu and all that stuff. Okay, to the left of them, up towards the tree.
This way?
Past. Yeah, that way.
Okay, so you would look that way. You might look this way, maybe.
Yeah.
You might look this way, perhaps. So is it all going to be kind of this direction, or would you think?
Yeah, it's not going to be that like direction because I'm kind of, I kind of spin around, but I'm like,
All right, then we're gonna just go ahead and roll a d4 here. All right, so you start walking this direction.
Perfect. It works.
Okay. All right, so you walk into the tree line there, and that little old man who's kind of stopped following you guys as you guys were moving too fast for him, and he kind of comes back. And he looks and he sees this building over here. Zurok, are you still standing here?
The best.
I'm just kidding.
The best I want to hear ever.
Are you still standing there, or did you follow Kairon?
No, I like.
That was his chant.
I went south of this little tree, and I'm sharpening my arrows.
Okay, so are you following Kairon?
Yeah, I'm following him now.
Okay, so you and Kairon go off this way.
I think it's gonna burn. I don't think there's anything.
And you watch as this little guy comes back, and he sees the crowd of people kind of talking amongst themselves, and he sees the burnt down little pub, and he immediately goes to rummage through some of the burning cinders of this tap house. And he's like, "There's got to be something left intact." All right, so you guys are off down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and say you spend probably about the amount of time it would take for them to get up the hill here. So you guys have made your way up the hill. I assume nobody decided to stop to wait for them, right?
We don't even know they're there.
All right, so as you guys crest the hill here, you see the familiar mansion that's all run down. The sides of it are kind of blown out this way and blown out that way, just like the picture here. It's still kind of a structure, but it's pretty destroyed and pretty well abandoned. And the road that you've come up is pretty washed out from weather in the past.
All right, so
check
can we
to
not
see-
obliterate this building this time?
Can I check to see if there's people, like if there's signs of people on the outside?
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
I'm trying. Oh, there it goes. Oh, wait, no, I'm dumb. Hold on. I mean, my character's dumb. I'm a smart lady.
I
Oh,
was
I
about
didn't do
to
All
that.
right,
tell you. I
so-
was about to tell you. Don't negative reinforce. Tell yourself good things.
All right,
I'm a big, beautiful bugbear. Just don't need no man.
so you walk forward, and immediately there's a giant footprint right in the path, and it's just kind of formed into the dirt. Maybe it was wet at the time, muddy, and now it's dried. And you look at it for a minute, confused, and then you turn back to the group. No sign of anyone here.
Do you yell it or?
Is a 19 on passive perception enough to pick up on signs of recent activity or just anything that wouldn't necessarily be like a real stressful search?
Yeah, so you immediately see the same footprints that Sakapunto investigated and didn't know what they were, and you can see that they have to be somewhat recent, right? Because weather would have washed them away. So probably within the last few days at least, you kind of think back about whether it's rained or not. You've only been in this time loop for a couple days, so you kind of have to think back pretty far to think, in further into the past, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're trying to think if it rained at all, and you can't recall any rain. So within the last few days, so it could be a little bit longer, maybe, but you don't know. I wouldn't imagine it being longer than a week, given.
And are they humanoid footprints or?
So they're just very large boots, very large boot prints.
So I'm going to try. Could I examine the footprint more closely and see if I can try to more discern anything on it?
Sure. Go ahead and roll an investigation check. All right. So you look down at the boots, and you can kind of discern that maybe it's just probably a human that was wearing the boot. It's based on the foot size, but other than that, you can't really tell much.
All right. So somebody's definitely been up this way within the last probably few days.
Was it us?
We haven't been here yet this time around.
How long do I have to be resting to be able to get over being drunk?
I'm gonna say you probably need at least a short rest to not be shit-faced anymore. So a couple hours.
Just ask Raz. My bedroll is very comfortable.
So you've already been asleep for probably about 45 minutes as they made the way up this trail.
You may wake up and still be sort of tipsy, but you're not gonna be like smashed.
You probably just won't feel very good. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just don't goo chug any more liquor.
Maybe whenever I wake up, I can roll to see how bad I feel.
Yeah. And whether you or not something wakes you up, I'm going to let you decide, by the way, if you think something would startle you awake. Otherwise, I'll force you awake at some point.
I'm gonna walk into the building.
Okay. So Shenanigans walks past Sakapunto and starts to head into the building.
Yeah, Sakapuno's gonna follow.
Okay, so as
with
you
my goo bag.
As you walk up this trail, you both encounter this big solid wooden door, and it's closed in front of you.
On it.
Okay, so you try to pull on it. Go ahead and roll an athletics check. You pull on this door, and you hear it kind of as it creaks and stuff, and the doorknob a little bit sizzles. This little metal handle on the door sizzles with your toxic touch, and you see a tiny little curl of steam come off the handle, but nothing happens. The handle just kind of heats up. Doesn't really seem to.
Well, guess what Sakapuno's gonna do?
Well, hold on.
Just
I'm gonna
guess.
push the door.
Oh,
I'm gonna push the door.
Okay, I'll wait.
No, let's. So Sakapunto's seeing this happen, and you do something, and then I'll let you go after that shenanigans.
Guess what Sakapuno's gonna do? He's gonna punch the door.
I figured. All right, go.
It's his favorite thing.
All right, go ahead and roll. Okay. All right. So you run up to the door and you punch it, and you punch a hole through the door where your fist was, but you don't actually open the door or dislodge the door. There's the kind of the wood splinters out of the way, and your fist goes through the door.
I pull my fist out and I motion to Shenanigans to I just kind of go, huh?
All right, now I
Like,
try.
look what I did.
Open.
Isn't this building kind of falling apart? Can't you just walk around the door?
You try to push the door open, shenanigans.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an athletics check again, I guess. Okay. So you lean up against the door and you push, and this door's kind of got these metal bracers on all around it, and so you push against it and you kind of sizzles again a little bit. Some of the wood kind of sort of seems to erode away off the surface, but it's really solid. This door is super solid, and you are not able to push it open.
I just give up and I walk around the side.
Okay, you walk around the side. The entire opening on the right side is completely, the whole wall is just completely destroyed. You're able to see inside mostly everything through this passage right here because you can see out the other side. Almost like something went right through the house. If you were, it's kind of what it looks like. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what happened, but you look through and it's all destroyed inside. But then there's like one door back here that leads into a room that seems to be in kind of an intact part of the house.
I look behind me, see if Sakaputo is following.
Nope, I'm at the door and we'll punch it again.
Okay, go ahead and roll at Furlough. And do you follow them? Are you up by Sakapunto at all or anything at this point?
Yep. Gonna kind of look around. Just meanwhile, while they're working on like the door and everything like that, I'm trying to take a look around, see if I see anything particularly out of the ordinary.
Okay. You can roll an investigation check if you like. And then Sakapunto, you throw another punch. And this time you punch kind of right into the middle of the door instead of more at your shoulder height. And so this time you punch through the door again, but you punch through this giant, big hunk of wood on the back that was lodged in place, holding the door closed. And it goes flying off. The door kind of buckles under the weight of the frame and everything now that it doesn't have that support in the back. And the whole door frame kind of collapses in front of you. And then also this whole wall collapses down in front of you. Shenanigans. I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw, Shenanigans.
No, don't kill my son.
All right, so you hear as this doorway behind you collapses and the whole wall starts to come down, and you manage to dive back outside as the whole where my line cuts it in half. Everything to the left of the line there, that all collapses down into a pile of splintered wood. And now, Sakapunto, you're able to see over the pile of rubble and see the other half of the house that's sort of intact, and you can see Shenanigans out there, kind of wiping a little bead of sweat off of his slimy head.
And Sakaputo yells over to him, "Son, the door is open. Let's go in."
Furlough, as you investigate and you're looking around, you kind of notice that there appears to be foot traffic that was headed through the door. So just as she collapsed everything, you noticed that the footprints led through the door. And now that you can see over the rubble, you can kind of see that the very faintly, where you can still see the original floor through this debris. You can kind of see that there's a footprint in there, like mud tracks, like someone brought muddy boots into the house, and they lead up to that door in the back that's in the intact part.
Hey guys, some bitches didn't take their boots off. There's some footprints going over to the back.
Havabeer immediately kind of walks around the side, and he's just like, "Well, let's go investigate."
I go and look at, and I go, "These don't look like the boot prints of a dog."
It's high noon.
Dog. Is this you, Rainbow, thinking that you would leave prints in the last loop, or just your character thinks that?
The character thinks that we might have left loops because I don't know how this time thing works.
All right, that makes sense. I'm just making sure that you yourself understood what happened.
While they're doing this, can we still have like Chiron looking for them? Like say
Furlough, did you go follow the footprints?
Yeah, we'll get to you in a sec, Kara.
Yep, we're gonna start. Let's go take a look.
Because Sakaputo follows Furlough.
Okay. So you guys kind of walk around this pile of debris now that you've created. And as you walk in, you hear the floorboards creaking under all the weight of the house that's collapsed on top of it. So far, the floor has held. It hasn't fallen into the basement. But as you guys add your weight to it, you hear, and like a few of the piles shift and some stuff falls.
Everyone watch your step and try to spread out, distribute the weight a little bit better.
I take him literally and I spread out as wide as I could.
Shenanigans turns into this pink pancake spread out across the floor over the top of the debris and everything. And while that's happening, Kayron, you've come out into this area and you're exploring. You kind of cross the street over into this area. Zurok, you followed. And then as you round the corner coming this way, suddenly this little old dwarf man that you recognize as the one who took your gold rounds this corner. And he just says, "There they are! Get them!" And all of a sudden, a mob of probably about 7 people come around the corner with torches and pitchforks, and they come running towards you, and they're just like, "You took out our favorite pub!"
And they're running towards us.
Yeah, they're running towards you guys.
I kind of like hold my hands up for a second and be like, your favorite pub? You would have tried to save it a little bit more.
Roll a performance check for me.
8.
Plus 1? Oh,
plus
okay.
1. 8, yeah.
An 8. All right. So you stop and you try to persuade them, and you notice as you're looking at them that this group of people look kind of disheveled, and they kind of look desperate, like they're coming after you, and you don't recognize any of them except for the little dwarf who lived next door. You don't recognize any of them from the group that you were passing the gold to. These guys kind of are wearing like kind of raggedy clothes, and they kind of come around the corner, and one of them takes out a little tiny copper piece and gives it to the dwarf that pointed towards you guys. He kind of flips it to him, just kind of flicks it to him with his thumb, and then he's just like, "Thank you," and he heads back this way, leaving this mob to chase you. And the one at the front you immediately recognize as the little old man that was cheering on Lulu. and him and his little buddies are coming after you, and they're like, "Get him!"
Oh God.
Do you try to run?
No. I'm gonna first try and be like, hey, look, I don't want any trouble. I want to explain to them the situation.
Okay.
That's what I want to do.
All right, so you stop, you put your hands out. They kind of stop for a second as they're running towards you with their little pitchforks out. And it's not just pitchforks, it's like pitchforks. Like one guy has a really pointy stick, and another guy has just a big, huge torch and like a bat type looking piece of wood. What do you say?
Wait, you're saying that the pub was your favorite place? Does that mean the person I gave the money to is not the one that's going to be helping you guys to get that place back?
He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Get them! Let's see what they have on them."
Please, hold on. Wait, don't do this. I don't want to hurt you. Let's try to resolve this.
Persuasion check.
Boom. All right. I keep forgetting. What?
All right. So they think for like a half second, and they're like, "No, get him!"
This isn't gonna be.
Can I just like look at Chiron and be like, this man, he was drinking the fire water, the crazy water. I have just no part in this.
And then you try to step away.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not trying to deceive them because that's true, right? You don't have anything to do with it. So persuasion check. Okay. All right. So they kind of don't seem like they're listening to reason, and they're just coming both your direction. Nobody's specifically targeting you yet, Zurok, but nobody seemed to listen and buy your explanation there either.
Oh shit.
They all kind of run up and surround Chiron since you didn't try to run away, and they all kind of look really frail, and so they run up and they're looking really intimidating for a minute, and then the one sticks out his pitchfork and just kind of goes, "Eh!" And he like pokes you, but it doesn't even break the skin. He's like, "Ugh!" And then another guy comes up with his little piece of wood, and he's like, "Bah!" And he kind of hits you in the shoulder, kind of gives you a little bruise, and they're just like, they're surrounding you, and they're like, "Give us everything you have on you."
God damn it!
All right, and then
maybe I would be like, hey, can I offer you guys a peace offering? I have tobacco here.
Tobacco. And now you suddenly have their attention, and they're like, "Well, we'll take whatever you have. If you have tobacco, or you have alcohol, or gold. Do you actually have tobacco on you?"
I don't know. I was wondering if I could like conjure some tobacco.
So you can do that, but you hand it over. You hand it to them, and it vanishes.
Okay. Crap.
Oh no.
They're like, "What kind of magic is this? Witch! They surround both of you now, and the one guy goes, "Nyeh!" And he throws his pitchfork at you, and bonk, and it just kind of pokes you again, or pokes you as well, and it hurts a little bit, but being a hologram doesn't do much to you.
Dang it. I probably got ideas. I'm like, you people, you're gods. You need to listen to your gods. This is not a way of dealing with this.
All right, well, I'm gonna leave you guys there for a minute. You guys back at the mansion. Oh, what are you guys up to now? Are you trying to make your way through that door?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm still asleep.
All right. Do we notice any like locks or anything like that?
So there is a little keyhole above the doorknob, just kind of in the door. Whether it's locked or not, you don't actually know, but there's a keyhole.
I'm going to see if I can discern if there's any kind of traps or anything else.
Okay, roll a investigation check.
Nope.
All right, so as you're investigating for traps, you don't see anything. You examine the door frame real close. You're looking around everything, and you go ahead and you try to twist the doorknob just to test to make sure it's safe. And as you do, the doorknob immediately electrocutes you.
I'd like to point out too, this is now going on almost 4 sessions in a row where I've yet to roll anything above a 10 in Fantasy Grounds.
I told you can roll somewhere else if you really think it's fantasy grounds, but I think you're just unlucky. All right, so you touch this doorknob and you take 23 damage.
Yikes!
It singes your hand. You pull your hand back and you're really pissed off at this door. That's it doesn't open.
You can always try to punch the door.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Cure Wounds at level 2 on him.
Okay. So Furlough, you get 12 hit points back.
All right.
All right, and then you guys are free to try something else if you like.
Well, clearly this thing is trapped.
Hava Bear says, "Yeah, we can see that."
Fun Bobby boy, it's trapped.
All
How's
right,
your hand,
so
by the way, there, Stabby?
still being more useful to the team than yours.
Hava Bear just kind of glares at you.
Wait,
All right, so I'm going to break out my thieves tools and see about disarming this trap.
Okay, go ahead and roll. I think it would be a performance check for using the tools, right?
has it been long enough
Or
for
at least
Lulu to
attribute.
have gotten a short rest?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so at this point, you're coming up on probably an hour and 45 minutes. So
Okay.
a little bit longer, maybe, for a short rest. I mean,
Wait, longer than? Or...
if the shock definitely could have been something that would have woke you up. So if you want that to be the trigger that wakes you up, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wake up. Well, what can I do while I'm rolled up in the sleeping bag?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
it's just a sleeping bag, so you could probably bust your way out, or at least weasel your way out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to weasel my way out of the bag and out of the sleeping bag and the proper bag.
Okay, so how is that bedroll positioned on your pack, Sakapunta? Do you just have like a hiking pack and like the bedroll's at the top or the bottom?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so you out of the side of this bedroll, because like Lulu spills out of the side of the bedroll and then kind of forms. You're feeling pretty groggy, a little tiny bit tipsy, but you're not feeling so great.
All right, do
All
I
right.
roll to see how well I'm feeling, or?
In a sec, let's let Furlough act. Roll a double or a dex check with double proficiency then.
All right, and doubling my proficiency brings it to a 26.
Nice. Okay. All right. So you pull out your thieves' tools after giving Havabir a snide remark, and getting super pissed that this door actually managed to shock you. Being given your skill set, you're kind of mad that even happened, and you pull out these tools and you immediately stick those in there, and you pull out this little these little rubber pads to put on your fingertips, so you only touch the tools with these little rubber fingertip end things. And you carefully...
Remember, kids, always bring a rubber with you.
You carefully position your tools into this lock, and you manage to pop it open, and then you kick the door in, and this little device that's got some wire running to it at the top of the door, and it's kind of running down to the back of the doorknob, gets yanked off the wall and falls down onto the ground, and then gets disconnected and kind of fizzles out. It doesn't have... the energy kind of dissipates from it. Are you guys going to try and step inside? It's dark in there. You can't see anything in there aside from just about a foot into the door. Wait, who has dark vision? Anyone? Sakapunta does.
I got
I
got dark vision.
Okay, so from the back you can see inside there, and you see like a bed in the corner, and a little nightstand next to it with a little weird-looking lamp on the nightstand, and then there's like a bookshelf off to the left of that nightstand. But you can't see. You can only see from your perspective, like into that corner of the room. But there's like probably some more stuff over there.
Apparently, I have a candle, so I'm gonna go ahead and light that.
Okay. Shenanigans pulls out a candle, lights it, and then you push your way into the doorway so the light goes into the room.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you step in there, and a little residual static shock from the device that you kind of ooze over, kind of just gives you a little bit of a static shock as you walk in. And the candle lights up the room, and in here on a table on the right side, you can see like a small little workstation. What you as players would know as a computer, but your characters may or may not recognize it based on some of the other stuff you've seen already. But it's got a little keyboard in front of it and a little monitor just sitting on this table, and it's not on. There's no power to it.
I'm gonna look back at the group and go, look, they have some kind of table with some kind of funny food on it.
Should I roll to see how good I feel?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
18.
Right on the money. Okay. All right. So yeah, you're feeling all right. It's a little groggy, but you're functional.
I say to the group.
Good morning, I think. What happened?
It's about 3 in the morning at this point.
I look at Lulu and go, you've been asleep for 3 years. We never thought you'd wake up again.
Roll deception, please.
Yeah, roll deception, Shenanigans. If you're really saying that.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Okay.
No.
Lulu, you're genuinely concerned that a lot more time has passed than you realize.
Wait, what happened?
Javier
remember
chimes in.
drink-
He says, don't listen to that stupid pink slime. It's only been an hour.
I remember drinking something at the one place. I
Yeah,
don't
you
really
probably
know.
shouldn't do that anymore. Just saying.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody try to do anything to this terminal
Oh.
or?
Do I recognize this as the mansion place, right?
Uh huh. You would.
All right. I say.
Wait, are you guys looking for the one lab place?
What's a lab? You know, Labrador dog? Yeah, we're looking for a dog.
No, like,
Labrador dog.
the place where you guys found me.
And Javier says, "Indeed, we're trying to find that lab. Exactly.
Oh,
I
let's
think.
just over this way.
Right, guys?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay.
Sacre Pluto speaks up and says we must find our way to the Black Spider.
I go ahead and walk this way to lead them over to the basement.
Javier chimes in and just says, "Well, we don't even know who the Black Spider is."
How many fellows do you think that go by the name of Spider? Maybe there's a brown spider, a blue spider.
Javier takes out Terso's teeth and kind of gives you a little bonk from behind, shoving you towards Lulu, like, get a move on.
Is it a blue spider? Get it off.
It's kind of this fuzzy blue glowing thing. A fuzzy blue spider. All right, so are you guys following Lulu?
Yep.
All right, so Lulu makes her way around back and shows you guys a set of stairs leading down into the ground behind. At this point, we'll go back real quick to Kayron, and you guys are surrounded by all these, what's the term? Just these drifters at the end of this town. They kind of live in this part of the town, and they're really upset that you burned their pub down. And they just keep poking you with their stakes and stuff and trying to demand that you guys give them things. Plus, they're pissed that you tried to deceive them with the tobacco.
Oh, God.
Okay, I mean, I have some rations I could give them. You know.
Okay, so you're gonna try and offer them rations?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to help. I was trying to like fix the like not have it burned down.
Okay, so you pull out the rations, and the little leader of the group goes, he kind of sniffs it, looks at this, and what is this?
It's cured meat and some hard bread.
He snatches it out of your hand and puts it in his pocket. He said, "What else you got?"
That's about it, really. I mean, I wish I had more. I'm sorry that happened. I was trying to help, but it didn't really work out. I'm sorry about that.
2 more of the guys that they're kind of hanging in the back, they come around, and one guy has this big metal rod, and he takes a swing at you. and he trips and falls face down into the dirt as this rod goes rolling up to you and lands at your feet.
I kind of like sweep it away from me. I'm like, no need for that now. We
Did
can
he roll
just-
that one?
Yeah, he did.
I think I suddenly remember that I can do like a fireworks trick. I can at least make like a smoke bomb, or something like that.
Okay.
I have fireworks. So I
Alright.
decided to throw down a
Huzzah!
smoke bomb. And I'm just like, you know what? These guys, they're going to kill us. I'm just going to have to run. So
Okay.
I decided to throw down a smoke bomb and run.
So what ability is that does the... Let's see. I don't see an ability
don't
like
know.
that. Are you just making shit up?
I'm just making it up. I'm thinking of Joe Dirt, the Indian guy, and Joe Dirt does fireworks. So since I'm Indian, I'm like Joe Dirt guy.
Alright, so
Wait.
you reach down and you grab a handful of dirt and then you kind of throw it down at the ground and it creates this little
Sand.
little dust cloud around, but they can still clearly see you. It's not that thick.
Oh, dang
And
it.
you're just like, poof. And then
I'm gonna start running.
I assume you start running. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you start running this way. Do you follow Kairon?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't. I think I can.
I'm ready.
All right,
Yeah.
Zerok. So two of them start chasing it. No, get him! And they start running towards you as fast as they can, which isn't very fast. You're clearly outrunning them like with ease.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you start making your way back to the mansion. I assume you're gonna follow the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow the road. I'm trying to
Okay.
rejoin.
It's the only place you guys
hopefully.
haven't explored yet. You've looked all around and. All right, Kairon, what are you doing still?
I'm gonna try and intimidate them into listening to me.
Okay, what do you do?
I use. Hold on.
Yeah.
Thaumaturgy. Thaumaturgy.
Nice. Okay, you're using thaumaturgy to enhance your voice. Go ahead and roll an intimidation check with advantage.
Boom.
Nice.
20 bitch.
What do you say? What do you say?
Cease and desist.
It's like you just immediately you just kind of pull from the gut. You're like, cease and desist, and it echoes and reverbs off the buildings around you. And they're like, oh no! They start taking off running that way, and they're like, no, the demon's going to get us.
Very good.
And then those two guys that chased after you, Zerok, they're like, wait for us! And they kind of head that direction to catch up because his voice boomed over this whole freaking end of town.
All right.
So they stopped chasing me?
Yeah, they stopped chasing you. Kairon, are you saw Zerok run this way? Are you gonna follow him?
Yeah, I'm gonna like trot after him. You're like, dude, what the fuck? What the
All right.
fuck?
So about this time, as they're finding the stairs in the back, I'm gonna say you guys finally make your way up to this mansion here. So you guys are free to do whatever you would do when you get there.
Where are they exactly? I don't remember.
So they're around here, but you don't know that yet. They're obscured by the trees here. You can see this mansion right here is all destroyed on the first half. The back half seems to be intact. There's a door open right here into this room in the back.
Wait a minute. Is this the mansion that I was at before? I'm gonna look around, see if I could find any reason to suspect that they might be here.
Which way are you going to go? This way?
Yes.
Okay, so you walk up this way, and then now you immediately catch the glimpse over the piles of debris right here. Remember, this whole part is collapsed. You catch a glimpse of a pink form across the way under the moonlight.
I squint. I kind of like shield my eyes as if they're sudden and like, shenanigans, is that you?
All right, so I assume you approach.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach.
All right, so you go around the
and I'm
debris
following
here,
him.
and
Slowly.
Sirach follows.
Slowly.
Okay, and then
'Cause I'm like, I
immediately
don't know
you're
where
met
I
with
am.
the group, and they can all see you guys coming around the corner.
Oh, hey, nice to see you guys. I was trying to
Who are
help
you again?
Howdy, tribe.
How it's
I
like
was
it's
the
about
guy that
time.
was trying to save the pub that burned out. That you guys, left. That you started a fire for, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was a bad deal. We almost didn't make it out of there.
Oh, what happened?
Angry villagers. Me trying to mitigate the situation.
Yeah, we
Oh, good.
tried
So
to make
my name-
peace with them, but
So my name's in the clear then now?
Obviously, did you try just walking away?
No, that's not what we help people. That's
Well, that's what we did. Seemed to work out great.
well, you could say fight or flight kicked in for yeah. I was more of the fighter, I guess.
I did not burn it down. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
All right, so Lulu, you show everyone the stairs. Furlo, you and Sakapunto, you guys clearly see the stairs that Lulu's gesturing towards. Do you guys want to head down them? Lulu, do you head down them?
Let's rock and
I
roll.
lead the way.
I'm gonna roll down the stairs.
Okay, Shenanigans rolls down the stairs like a little squishy ball. Furlo, are you behind?
A slinky.
Nice.
All right, so you guys are all
Everybody
stacked up on
loves
these
to
stairs.
see
Lulu, you get down there, and the door is locked. It's got a doorknob on it, but the doorknob will not turn.
Wait, it wasn't locked before.
Well, it is now.
All right, this looks like a job for me again.
I take out my great axe and I hit the door with it.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh.
Okay,
Nice.
so you hit the door, and your axe goes through a part of the door, cutting a straight vertical splinter into the door. Doesn't quite go all the way through, though.
Here's Lily.
That was great. You know what? That was awesome.
Lulu, do you want me to see if I can bust that lock open?
I'm having too much fun, so I just take another slice at the door.
Okay, go ahead and swing.
I haven't got to use my great axe much.
All right, so you make another slice into the door. This one pushes through the other side, but still the door is largely intact.
I'm gonna give her inspiration, bardic inspiration.
Can
Does that
I
help or not?
can I assist too by giving him a tomahawk?
Yeah.
Let's find a tomahawk
Okay.
and
So,
hand it to you.
I gave Lulu its bardic inspiration, which she can use a 1d6 extra on her attack roll.
Yeah, so make an attack roll with advantage, and then you have the option to use your bardic inspiration also, Lulu.
Wait, make an attack roll with advantage?
Oh, yeah. So I guess assisting isn't really. You just gave her a tomahawk. Are you actually using the tomahawk, Sirach?
Well, I guess I could use the tomahawk, see if I can take a swing at it myself.
You need to force your way down the stairs, which you can do if everyone moves out of the way for you, and then you can take a swing at the door.
Okay, so I raise my tomahawk over behind my head and take a big swing.
And add 3, so that's 8. So you you hit the door with your little tomahawk, and it sticks into the door, but it doesn't do a lot. Just kind of sticks in the door there. You kind of have to wrench it back out.
All right, I say,
All right, watch out. Stand back.
Don't forget to use your bardic inspiration, Lulu.
yeah, no. I like wind up, like I literally spin my torso around as I wind up for a big swing,
Okay.
and I hit the door with the great axe.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. All right.
15.
All right, so you hit the door. This time, the axe comes down kind of right on the doorknob and hinge mechanism there, and the doorknob falls out either side. So the doorknob falls in half, and then the inside part falls inside, and the outside part falls outside, and the door kind of just creaks open with all these holes in it.
Well, that was fun.
All right, so you guys, with dark vision, you can see inside. It's largely empty except for a lot of crates and stuff on one side of the room. Just some old junk in there. It's all dusty. But you do notice, Furlo, being keenly perceptive, that the dust on the floor right inside the entryway is not so undisturbed.
Hey guys, check this out. Look at the dust over here. It's been disturbed recently.
So you point down, and you notice as you're looking down at it that it looks like those same boot prints in the dust.
It's the same
I,
fucker who forgets to take off his damn shoes.
I look at Flo and I go, I didn't know that you could talk to dirt. What disturbed it?
Well, I'm guessing it's whoever these boot prints belong to.
Just in case, I'm gonna get my hand axes ready. But I'm also gonna put on my golden wrist bracelet, since I assume we're gonna be teleporting from here.
Okay, so you pull out the little bracelet. It's got that purple crystal on the back.
And I
You-
Thanos snap. Just kidding. Just
Shenanigans, Havabeer, and Kairon all disappear.
Wait. What happened?
Nothing. We're joking.
nothing.
Okay, so you make your way inside. Is anyone carrying a light source? Are you still got your candle? Okay. All right, so you stroll in with your candle and it lights up and you can see the dusty old crates and stuff. You guys can clearly all see now with the light that the dust is disturbed with footprints leading up to that familiar circle in the floor on the right side of the basement. So as you walk in, the circle would be like right over here on the floor in the corner.
In fact, I'm kind of stick the candle right in my forehead.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Like a big unicorn.
Yeah.
All right, so you now have the candle poking out of your forehead.
Is the circle big enough for all of us to fit on it at once?
No, definitely not. It could probably fit probably 2 or 3 people, depending on size.
I'm gonna head over next to the circle, and I'm gonna say to everyone,
All right. Who wants to go through first?
I jump out the circle.
You step on the circle, Shenanigans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a way to figure out where this was aiming for as far as where they sent themselves? Because that might give us some pretty good clues.
I mean, I can only assume it goes to where you guys found me.
So you guys are just gonna walk up to this hole and start climbing down it?
"No,
There's
it's
no
not a literal
hole.
hole in the ground."
It's a circle on the floor, so like you can see kind of
Oh.
a partition, like think of a sidewalk crack, but in a circle, and you can stand in it, but it's still solid in the middle.
Hmm.
I guess I kind of like shrug my shoulders and I just step into the thing with Shenanigans. The world's got to get saved somehow, right?
Okay, you could probably fit one more, but you guys can send who you have now if you want.
I'm just
Hey,
waiting.
what
Step
the
on
hell?
up.
Go in.
Hey.
All right, Furlough joins in, and
Hey,
then
Can I like go back into my transmitter and be like, hey, hold this, and then it's like bzz, back into my
yeah, you
little...
can. Okay, so you go back into you say, hey, hold this, and then you go back into your transmitter. And your little transmitter falls on the ground with a little spark right next to Furlough.
All right, I pick up the transmitter.
Okay. All right, Lulu, you doing the honors?
Yes, I activate the circle using my gauntlet by doing a finger gun at it.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So all of a sudden, the edges of the circle open up and form into kind of open up like about a foot wide radius around you guys, and these rings kind of come flying out, and they stack on top of each other, and then you guys vanish from view, and the next thing you know, you guys find yourself again back in the lab. And
Oh,
then-
boring.
Zerok, you are still in your little transmitter, so.
Okay.
I step off the circle.
Just a little baby or...
All right, Shenanigans, you step off the circle. Lulu, Sacapunto, and Havabeer, are you guys following up?
Yeah, I'm gonna step right on that circle.
Yep. And also, I get back on top of Sakapunto's shoulders.
Okay, and then Havabeer stands next
It's
to you
another
guys.
round of step on that circle.
So I say to everyone else, better get off that
Fortune.
circle.
Do you guys respond to that, Furlough and Kieran?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
stepped right
I
off.
tried to move off of it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just as you guys move off of it, the rings come down out of the ceiling again, stack on top of each other, and then all of a sudden, Havabeer, Lulu, and Sacapunto all appear or materialize in the middle of these rings, and as they vanish back into the ceiling.
I'm gonna be extremely fascinated by these things over here, and I'm gonna start rolling around on top of them.
Okay, so you walk over to the end there, and there's these filing cabinets with these trays on top, and you just kind of form into a brownie tray, basically.
Yeah, and I just start rolling over it like a dog rolling on the ground.
Okay, except that you're on top of cabinets there. This is a top-down view, so that's not on the floor.
Yeah, but isn't that see there's trays on top?
Yeah, so those trays are sitting on top of a large filing cabinet thing.
Alright, I'm gonna roll around in the trays on top of the filing cabinet.
Okay, so you climb up on top and start rolling around in the trays. Okay.
Sagapuno looks up to Lulu and says, "Where do we go now?"
Well, I
do
can-
we go now? Where
I
do
can
we
change
go?
where we go from here.
Furlough is going to examine the file cabinets and take a look, see if he finds anything useful.
The ones that Shenanigans is rolling around on.
Yep.
Okay.
Can I come out of my transmitter now?
Yeah, you can anytime you want. So
All right.
you
I
pop
come out
out.
of my transmitter.
All right, and there you
And
are.
I look around and I go, what jungle is this? I've never been here.
So I've enjoyed my role on these. What are they called again?
Cabinets.
Cabinets.
Trays? Trays? It's a tray, right?
Yeah, there's trays on top of these cabinets.
I decided to take the trays with me, so I can roll on them later.
I'm gonna do the same thing that Javier is
Do you lick 'em?
looking around for anything valuable.
Just kidding.
They're pretty big, so it's kind of hard to carry these trays. These trays are meant to like hold a bunch of components and stuff.
Oh, can I take one?
It's still big. They're not heavy, so you can certainly carry them. But they're really clunky and awkward. Like you would have to fasten them onto some kind of pack, I would think, or like you could walk around like a big square with them inside you, like a big rectangle.
Can I tell that anything's different or disturbed since I was last here?
Are you actively looking to see, or are you just asking if you can tell passively?
I'm gonna get off of Sakapunto's shoulders and look around.
Okay, then roll an investigation check.
16.
Why so dumb? Just kidding.
Okay, so you're looking around and not much seems out of place. There's not much dust collected inside here, which was the case of last time too. But you do notice that the little device over there that selects the transport rings, the destination, is, you recall that it was Toro Platform 14, right? Well, not the one you selected. And
Yes.
it is now toggled to Toro Platform 13.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say everyone.
So I think someone was here and changed the place where this ring will take us. So you guys want to go back through the rings?
So I'm gonna look at Lulu. I'm gonna go. Was it us?
No, it was not us.
Furlough, as you are rooting around through the filing cabinet, you find something that is marked top secret on this like folder, and as you thumb through it, you basically see these designs, like they're very vague blueprints, like high level designs of this giant structure, this pyramid like structure, and it's basically just got all the details on like the dimensions of the structure and basically just how it's kind of constructed and put together. It doesn't really give you a lot of information about what it's for or anything like that. But it does stand out from the rest of the things you see in there.
I feel like this might be important to something, so I took that away in my inventory.
Okay.
So I'm gonna suck this whole tray in me, and I'm gonna just walk around for a little bit as a tray with
Wait.
legs.
So did anyone else see him like find this top secret thing, or is it just something that he like noticed and he's like, whoop?
He was investigating through the filing cabinets.
Okay.
Yeah, he was rifling through the stuff over there, and so he found this little folder. And it just has this, the stereotypical like red stamp that says "top secret" on this folder.
I'm gonna hop next to I'll think I put down and I'm gonna say, "Oh, this tray tastes so good."
Okay, so you hop down off the cabinets, and you guys see this like rectangular shaped Shenanigans kind of just waddling towards you as he's talking with his head poking out the top.
I say to the party.
Wait, can I reach in and try to grab the tray out of his body?
Yes.
Then
Go ahead and roll an athletics check. Are you resisting Shenanigans, or are you going to let her?
I'm gonna say that I'm taken by surprise and I'm not gonna roll.
Oh, okay.
You said athletics?
Yeah.
Hey.
Watch this be a natural 20.
Yeah.
Look, it's a natural 21.
It's a 20, but not a natural 20. But yeah, so you're like, you just immediately turn around and Shenanigans is like, look, this tray is tasty, and you reach inside and you grab it and you just rip this tray right out of him, and he shrinks back down to a normal size.
I'm gonna say to the party.
Alright, looks like we're going through these rings again to get somewhere else. Who wants to go first?
Bear's like, I'll go. I want to get out of this place. I don't like this place much. It's too small. He steps into the ring platform.
And I walk over to Hoverbear and say, "Here, take my transmitter. I'm coming with you too."
Okay, so you shrink down. Your transmitter again falls down onto the ground next to Hoverbear, and Hoverbear's like kind of sighs and then picks it up, puts it in his pocket.
Before stepping in, I'm gonna rifle through, see if I can find anything of value in the
You can
room.
also just go second.
Yeah, so you're
That
gonna
too.
keep exploring. Who is anyone else going with Hoverbear and Surrock?
I will go with them.
I'm gonna
Sakapuna
explore-
will go with them.
Okay,
I'm gonna walk over here. I'm gonna explore whatever these things are.
those
That's
are
where I came
the
from.
those are the containers that contain all the Seinvolk experiments.
I'm gonna do an investigation over here.
That's also where you came from, Shenanigans. You were messing with that while they were dealing with Lulu. Lulu was like on the ground over here or something, and they were. I forget exactly what the party was doing, but you as Raz were messing with stuff over here when you got taken over by a Seinvolk experiment.
I'm gonna investigate this.
Wasn't
cabinet.
it that he had drowned and then they tried to
Yeah,
revive
Freya.
him?
It got retconned.
Yeah, it got retconned. we cleaned up the story for the prologue.
So now he's my baby instead of her baby.
That never happened, folks.
Wait,
Don't
who
worry
knocked up
about it.
who?
Congratulations, Shenanigans. You got 2 mamas.
Do I have to roll anything?
For having 2 moms?
I'm investigating this this thing over here.
Yeah, roll an investigation check. Oh my god, that was funny.
Moms?
All right, so you search that thing pretty thoroughly, and all you find are failed experiments that have been rotting, and some of them have solidified. Some of them are just kind of like this black tar. Nothing seems to be of use or value over at that thing. Lulu, do you activate the rings?
I'm kind of waiting for there to be a third person in here.
I'm in there. I stepped in.
Well,
So
Zurok is shrunk down into his transmitter, so there's only technically 2 people. Okay.
Do I see anything that's my color in there?
No.
What about that pipe? Is that pipe still there?
Hoverbear's like, can we get a move on? You gonna hit that button?
I
Bobby
see.
boy, are you gonna get a move on?
I say to him, I'm waiting for there to be 3 people there.
Are you getting on the platform, Shenanigans?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. With that,
By the way-
I do a Thanos snap to activate it.
Wow.
Okay, so do you hit the crystal on your hand device, or do you hit the button on the screen like you have before?
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna hit the button.
Okay. All right, so you hit the platform 13, which is already highlighted, I assume?
Yep.
Okay. And then Shenanigans, Sakapunto, and Havabeer and Zurok, you guys all vanish from view. Kayron,
Yes.
Furlough, Lulu,
Yeah, just so
what are you guys up to?
just so you know, like I had gone from where I was originally standing. I crawled over the desk that's over here,
I saw that.
and now now I am investigating.
Sure, yeah. Roll an investigation check. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Anything of value. That's pretty much all I'm looking for.
Okay.
Um,
All right, so you're looking around the lab, and there's nothing that seems to be super useful, like for you as a Kayron, I guess. There's lots of useful information about Seinvolk experiments.
Nothing of
There's like
value.
there's a mount in front of you. You can take that chair and use it as a mount.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna sit in that chair. Hold on. Is it one of those spinny kinds?
It sure is, with the wheels on the bottom.
Fuck yeah! All right, so I'm gonna sit in it, okay? And I'm gonna like discover that it spins. I'm gonna grab onto the desk and I want to give myself a good like twirl.
Oh,
You should roll an athletics check.
Yeah, athletics check.
Athletics check? Fuck yeah! Hold on, I got you, boy. Hold on.
This is the kind of content we need. Spinning in fucking office chairs.
All right, so you push off the desk and just you start spinning around and in this chair, and suddenly it's really fun at first, and the room is kind of a spinny blur, and then all of a sudden you start to realize you don't feel so good. You're also super disoriented. You have a hard time walking forward. You kind of have to catch yourself on the desk.
That was hey guys. That was really fun. You should try it.
Aren't there only like 2 people in this room with you?
Yeah, it's just Lulu and Furlough. Yeah,
But
sorry, I
that's
haven't moved the
still
tokens
a
yet. I
plural.
just tucked them in the corner for
It's
now.
still a plural, so
We should
So,
get
guys-
going, guys.
I point to the chair and be like, but wait, this chair, you don't want to try it out just for funsies?
No.
No.
You know what? You guys. You know what? I'm peering at him. That seemed really fun. So what I do, I go over here, I get on this chair, I just scoot onto the ring on the chair.
Oh no! All right, so I can't move that graphic; it's part of the map. So I'll just pretend you moved the chair onto the underneath the rings. Okay, Charon, are you following?
I'm just sitting on the chair in the ring.
I'm like, I give it like a kind of like a small like, I guess. And I
Why
just,
don't you bring your chair?
yes, that's a great idea.
Oh my God! So you wheel around in your chair. So now there's two
I
chairs.
feel around in
guys-
my chair.
You guys barely fit in this circle with your chairs, by the way.
We both kind of like
You
huddle in with our
spin me
chairs.
right round, baby, right
Right
round.
round.
All right, Lulu, do you hit the button on the console?
Yeah, can I use my stretch to be able to hit the button without leaving?
Yeah, so in my head, I've always pictured the button a lot closer, even though this graphic kind of shows it farther away. I've kind of actually pictured the rings more like right here in my head. So you don't need to stretch, just pretend it's closer.
All right.
Because otherwise, how would anybody operate it?
Yeah.
I
So,
kind of imagined him like hitting like a natural one on the roll, and then like as he's doing that, like his arm gets cut off by the ring as it's coming off.
All right, so you hit the button on the console, and the rings come down, and then the rings, as they come around, they hit the armrests of these chairs, and one of them is just a little too far underneath, and the armrest just kind of gets crushed off by this ring, just kind of breaks off and falls to the ground. And
Please
then
tell me it
was
was
that?
Charon's.
Whose chair was that?
actually, it was Charon's.
I
and
just kind of stare at like in like horror, like. Oh.
these rings come down. You guys vanish from view. Before we go to the next screen, does anybody need to quit, or are we good to keep going?
You think
I'm
a
doing
5-minute
like
break?
little-
Okay, we'll meet back here in 5 minutes then. All right, so you guys find yourselves materialized in this room. And this room has a few terminals this direction right here on the wall. Computers, they're lit up. There's some text scrolling on them. They're gobbledygooked as far as you guys are concerned. There's some storage cabinets on this side. But the first thing you all notice is that it's freezing cold in this room.
Are we at McDonald's
no.
again?
No.
Oh.
The description of it being freezing cold made it feel like McDonald's.
I'm gonna check the floor and see what it's made out of.
So this is just like the lab. It's kind of just you're surrounded by cement. The floor kind of has a little bit of like this metal plating as the floor, but the walls are like a cement foundation. There is a door over here, and there's light coming in through a little square window on this door, and this door is made of metal or some kind of metal alloy. And the light coming in is this white light, and you can see like you can't really see out the window because it's covered in white. But it's
I'm gonna cast Barn Fire first since it's safe now. Right there.
okay. So you create this bonfire, which immediately begins burning the air in the room that you don't know if it's sealed or not.
Well, I don't know anything about air. My character.
I'm just kidding. All right, so you create a bonfire in the middle of the room, and there's plenty of room in the middle of this room. It's like this really small room. It doesn't seem like there's a lot going on in here. There's just these little terminals that almost appear to just be monitoring something, and that's about it. So, all right, so
And then-
you create a little fire.
You said there's an obvious door?
Yeah, right here. This little scribble that I made is the door.
Why don't we just go out the
Okay.
door?
So here's your little bonfire.
I don't say,
It's
well,
cute.
How do we know that this door is real?
How do we know this door is real? There's only one way to find out. I'm gonna do the Sacapunto thing. I'm gonna go up to that door.
No, wait. Okay, you do it.
I'm
I
gonna the shit out of that door.
I'm gonna say I'm getting to the bonfire to make sure I don't fucking freeze solid.
Okay.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm punching the door.
Shenanigans and Lulu, you guys are feeling the cold more than the rest of the party. It's
I'm gonna
definitely
join Lulu.
rough. Okay, so you guys are about around the bonfire. And Kieran, you're what?
Someone's
Trying to
bigger
attack the
than
door?
Yeah,
Yes.
I go to that fucking door. I look at it, I'm like, you're no match
The
for me,
hole.
door. And I just roll.
All right, so you punch the door and you put a huge fist-shaped dent in the metal alloy of this door, but it doesn't budge.
Sakaputo walks up to it and tries to open it by the handle.
It opens up and swings out. The wind blows the door. As you open it up, the wind catches the door and shoves it against the wall, and suddenly you guys are bombarded with a flurry of snow that comes whipping into this building, and you can see outside it's just a complete blizzard. And the cold
Flurry of
comes.
snow?
Yeah, there's like
A flurry of blows. Okay.
Maybe that's not a great idea of two Simvolks trying to cover for warmth.
Yeah, so the wind immediately comes in and starts to threaten your bonfire as it's succumbing to the air. It's huge. Like the wind is like super strong as it blows in through this door.
Chiron turns around to them and be like, I think I found the source of the cold, guys.
Hava Beer comes up and says, "You think?"
I hold my arms out towards the flurry of snow.
So Sakaputo turns and looks at them and then turns back and tries to close the door.
So the door opened outward, so it went out this way and then that way, and now it's slammed against the wall out here like that. So you would need to walk out into the snow and pull it inward against the wind.
Well, I'm a big, strong bugbear. I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you walk outside and you're immediately caught by this freezing wind that even as a big old huge bugbear, it's definitely stinging at your back as you reach out toward the door. You grab the handle. Go ahead and roll an athletics check for me.
First, I say, "Ouch," or whatever a bugbear would say.
Ah!
Would that be athletics, or would that just be straight up a strength check?
No, it's athletics.
Like what? I actually don't know when I would make you just roll a strength check. If you can tell me
I roll
why.
better with athletics, so it's athletics. Stop trying to medicate me, Boris.
All right, so you pull on this door and you're able to get it about halfway, and then it slips from your fingers and slams back open.
No, can I try again?
You can.
Can I assist?
Sure, you can do it with advantage, Sakapunto.
I'm gonna give her bardic inspiration.
Okay.
What does that do again?
You get an extra D6 to add to your roll.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm just gonna do that. I don't know what to just you math it.
Okay.
Good luck, DM.
All right. So this time you reach back and you grab the door, and you pull it, and you manage to slam it back closed with this fist-shaped dent underneath the window.
Sakaputo
guys,
saves the
let's
day
go
after
now.
almost ruining it.
Yeah, your bonfire kind of springs back to life a little bit, not being threatened by the wind anymore. It's still icy cold in here, though. You guys are all starting to feel it now.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna start moving a little bit closer to the flame.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Lulu and go, let's go back to where it's more suitable for our lives.
By the way, it's about 8 a.m. the next day at this point. You guys have been at it all night through that lab and teleporting around. So the sun is rising in Phandalin, but you notice that here it's already like midday.
Sakaputo yawns.
Would I be able to use a torch and hold a torch very close to me to keep myself warm?
Well, you're next to fire.
Sure. I mean, but you're still next to a fire, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, if I were to move away from the fire at all.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I'm gonna take out a torch and put it in the bonfire to light it.
Okay. You have a torch that's lit now.
No, and with this source of warmth, I'm gonna investigate the room.
Okay. Go ahead and then roll an investigation check.
Okay. Anyone want to assist me?
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, I was gonna start looking around as well.
Okay. Roll an investigation check with advantage.
Yeah, Sakapu is just hanging by this door. Nobody else gonna open
Dropped
it.
a 1. All right, so as you go through the storage compartments over here, you find that the storage over here is a series of lockers, and each locker contains a set of winter gear. So there are 5 lockers, and there are snow pants and a heavy winter jacket, gloves, and boots in each one.
I'm gonna bundle myself up as much as I can.
Okay. All right. So you don the pants and the snow pants, the heavy jacket. The snow pants are kind of like like the suspender style, so they kind of come up over. There's no sleeves on it, but they kind of come up over your chest a little bit, and then strap over your shoulders, and then you can put a big coat over that, and then there's boots that you can put on, and also gloves.
All right.
Suit up
Question.
time.
Okay. So there
Question.
are only 5 suits. Just
I was
so you
gonna
guys
say,
know.
I don't think Zurok needs a suit, right? He's
I was
just
gonna
a
also
illusion
say
anyway.
that
Oh, yeah.
Shenanigans put one on.
Well, I mean, it would be a waste to put one on Shenanigans.
Why would it be a waste?
Isn't it
He'd
just
probably
dissolve?
just dissolve it.
Yeah,
Oh.
he'll dissolve it. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
That's
a
why
good
he
point.
should not put one on. But question: do slime bulk need oxygen?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's okay if we have to leave. I have a plan.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it doesn't look like this is a feasible place to stay.
If we have to
Chiron is
leave, I
saying
can
this.
always shapeshift into something else.
I'm gonna also continue looking. Can I continue looking around? Maybe see if I find anything else.
Yeah. So as you continue looking around, so those lockers, that's all they contain. They also have goggles, by the way. I forgot to mention, so that you can see out in the blizzard easier.
I have those on too.
Okay. Yeah. And there's a complete set in all 5 lockers. And then on this side of the room, there is a couple terminals. As you look them over, Kayron, you see that one has just a bunch of scrolling text that's scrolling so rapidly you can't really get the gist of it. There's a lot of weird symbols and stuff that you
It's the Matrix.
don't recognize. The right one, though, periodically stops. So it's scrolling a bunch of stuff too, but slower, and then it periodically stops and says something about pylon power at full.
I'm gonna say it loud enough for everybody else to hear it. I say what it's saying. Pylon power at full. Hey, yo, guys, what does that mean? Does anyone know?
I think it means that the pylon is at full.
I think it means you must construct additional pylons.
We're
Chiron
so we're
points
still
at
on
both of them and
Tamriel, right?
saying-
According to that the thing.
So the platform you guys went to was Toro Platform 13.
Can I have Chiron like kind of like fiddle with the computer that's scrolling the text really fast, try and get it to slow down so you can like kind of try to read it?
Sure. You're just gonna hit random keys.
Yes.
Okay. All right, you hit a bunch of random keys on the keyboard. It seems like the screen enters like the information that you say, but the information kind of quickly scrolls away, and so your keys are being read from, but they're not doing anything.
Try deleting System 32.
Sakaputo definitely perks up at the
Control
word
Alt
pylons,
F4.
but he doesn't know what to do with the information.
Okay.
Where's the chairs at?
There's no chairs.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there is.
you brought your chairs in. Yeah, so you guys would have left them right back here.
You guys should
Okay,
burn
so
them for warmth.
first thing since I'm seeing that the
Burn them.
computer's not responding to me to do anything, I go get my chair. I go sit on that chair, and I spin slowly.
So I feel like these are tied to those pylons that we saw on that other place on Torque, yes. So showing it full power, as I recall, we were trying to shut power to them off. Do these look like something that we could interact with, or are these just monitoring things?
We just broke it.
I was trying to get the text to slow down, and it was responding to what I was doing. I stopped spinning, and I ended up looking right at Furlough. And I'm like, the screens they responded to me like trying to like slow them down. That's all I gleaned from the information. Maybe there is something that can help us get a better understanding of what's going on.
Oh wait. Hang on a second. I overhear that, and I'm like,
Oh, I bet our small friend could know.
Well, thank you for the compliment, but I don't know.
He wasn't talking about you, dingus.
Yeah, who said you were smart?
Obviously, it's me. Ugh.
I'm guessing he's referring to Fitz.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'd call him smart. He seemed like he was overly flustered.
He was eccentric, is what we'll say.
I'm gonna. head over-
Sakapuno says, "Where can we find Fitz?"
I can go get him. You guys could chill here, I guess.
Ha, chill here.
I mean, yeah, we can.
Yeah, might be worth it.
With that, I'm gonna still bundle up in all the winter wear. I'm gonna waddle over to the rings.
Wait, does it seem like there's like any sort of airflow coming into the room that like we don't have to
yeah.
worry about the bonfire?
You can't
Possibly
you can't
killing
tell
us?
yet. So far, you guys are fine. If there's oxygen
Okay.
depletion, you can't. It's not obvious yet.
As
So, I'm gonna-
Lulu goes through the rings, Sakapuno takes his bedroll out, scoops up Shenanigans, and tries to snuggle on him like a little kid.
Do you resist Shenanigans?
No, but before she does that, I'm gonna take all 6 of my spider legs and kind of put them in myself and then dissolve them. So I'm eating them.
Okay. All right. So all of a sudden, these spider legs protrude out, and then he kind of sucks them back in, but you hear this as he dissolves them.
Before I head out through the rings, I'm gonna hand off the torch to someone that might want to use it. So I'm gonna hand it off to Chiron.
Oh, do you have dark vision?
Well, I mean, it's not to see; it was for warmth.
Alright, cool. Yeah, no, I take the torch, kind of hold it up. I'm like, hey, torch.
And using my hand bracelet, I go back through the ring.
Okay. So you hit the crystal, the rings activate, and then suddenly you find yourself back in the lab again.
I sure hope we're not all screwed now, because
Okay, so you find yourself back in the lab. The lab is kind of dimly lit with the computer monitors and stuff, and a small overhead light.
I'm gonna look at the terminal or the screen thing over here.
It's
Is Tanith
Tanith.
still there?
Yep, it sure is.
I'm gonna select Tanith and press it again to activate.
Okay, the rings come down, activate, and you find yourself back on Tanith Station in the center part where the rings are.
Knowing that like the security, I guess, is like friendly to sign bulk,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna just walk straight back to the terminal at the top of the station.
All right, well, we'll fast forward time. All right, you walk past some of the marching things. You come back on, and you see Fitz messing with the computer, and he's got like on the terminal this time. It has the status in like a small like picture-in-picture display, like the status that you were seeing before, and the status says that the integrity field is still stable at 58%. And it's green, so it's like not falling anymore. But Fitz is now messing with a 3D model of the solar system.
Is he like turned at the screen away from me?
Yeah, here, I'll move him and turn him around. There you go.
I not exactly trying to spook him, but it might end up spooking him. I say,
Oh, again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he immediately jumps up. Oh! I didn't see you there. You see all of a sudden that picture-in-picture display fills the full screen, and what he was working with disappears, and then he turns around and Lulu, right?
Yeah. What were you doing?
Just working. I've stabilized the integrity field.
can I roll perception if he was having any sort of ill intent with what he was doing?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
All right. 15.
Okay, so you definitely get the idea that he's hiding something from you. Whether it's malicious or nefarious or not, you can't quite tell. But he definitely seems to have been caught by complete surprise. Probably because he forgets that you can move freely through this facility as a Sign-Volk.
I don't know whether I want to press him on that or not. I know, like, you guys obviously aren't here, but what do you guys think?
This fire's nice.
Get him.
Bunsen.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. That didn't occur to me.
I think Lulu should devour him.
Maybe a little stream. By the way, just so you know, I'm still I'm bundled in winter wear.
Oh yes. So as you startle him, and then he kind of gets his bearings, and he's just like, "What? Oh, what are you wearing?"
Bunch of warm stuff. We found a really snowy place, and there's another computer thing there, and we can't read it, and we need your help.
Snowy place? I've never seen snow before.
Yeah, me neither, actually.
You need my help, you say?
Yeah, there's a computer there, and we can't read it.
Well,
Said
I've
something about
stabilized
said something
everything
about
here.
pylons.
I'm worried that this integrity field is going to keep falling, and I can't get it back to 100%. But lead the way.
All right, and I lead the way back to the ring. If nothing of note happens, do we want to just skip back
I was
to-
just going to do that. Yeah. So
Are
you
we,
guys-
while this happens, are we taking a long rest, a short rest, or?
So it would have taken her probably a total of an hour, right, to move through everything with the lab, and then move through the giant Tanith structure to get ready to go, and then back again. So it's an hour later, so you guys can continue to rest upon her return, but it's only been an hour. Not quite enough for a short rest.
It says
By the
here
way,
that
I'm
the
still-
short rest is like an hour.
You guys are feeling super tired, though, by the way, at this point. You guys have been up for a long time.
Are we
So
sure that's
it's,
just not, the epoxy that's setting in?
So under short rest, it says like at least an hour.
Does it? Oh, I thought it was like 2 hours. All right, you guys can count that as a short rest, then, if you like.
I'm gonna hit the short rest button.
And no, you're not having any problems breathing, Kieran.
Just saying, lack of oxygen might cause the feelings of being very tired.
Well, I mean, we're not in space.
But fire does burn off.
You
Oxygen.
could be in a sealed room with a fire, though, Rainbow, which would
Yeah.
be a problem.
I'm okay. I don't need air.
So
I'm
you,
just thinking my-
Lulu and Fitz return. Hi, everyone!
What's up?
I'm gonna go ahead and waddle over to the computer.
What up,
thing.
brah?
He startles me, and I consume him. I'm just kidding.
Oh God, please no.
Let's not say we did. All right, so you lead him over to the computers, and he's like, "Oh, these terminals are interesting. Let me see." And he starts tapping through the one terminal that you tried, Kieran, and he gets about as far as you did. Taps some keys. The keys register on screen, but they just register in the middle of all the scrolling text, and the text keeps scrolling. Then he tries the other computer, and he hits the top left key on the keyboard, the escape key, and then the screen comes to a halt, and immediately shows this pylon status static display, and it says pylon status full power, energy transference 1-to-1, and lists a few other little stats there that you guys don't really fully understand, but everything is related to this pylon status. He's looking at the screen. He's just like this. I wonder if these are like the pylons on Torque. I don't fully understand them. All I know is Queen Vera installed them while I was on assignment.
I hear that. I go, can you turn them off?
Well, I can try. And he starts hitting keys and trying to pop up menus, but it just sticks on this display, and nothing changes. It's like, well, I'm sorry, but there's not much more I can do here. These terminals just appear to be monitoring stations.
Do they tell us where these pylons are?
And he's looking around, looks around the room, and starting to feel a little bit of the chill. And he's, well, it seems like we're in the northern or southern hemisphere for it to be this cold. Let's see. I mean, maybe we're at the North Pole. And he's like, is there a way to leave this room? What is this room?
I look at him dead and I go, what is a North Pole?
Well, every planetary body has two magnetic poles, a North Pole and a South Pole.
I fall asleep. I'm just kidding.
Kyron just kind of leans in, really interested on his chair, nodding, like, yeah, tell me more.
It just turns into a CGP Grey video about North and South Poles.
He's just like, it's only speculation, but maybe these pylons are present at the poles or at a pole.
All right, let's go to these poles and let's kick their ass.
Well, first we have to get out of this room. And he starts looking around, and he sees this.
I kind of point to the door, like I point to the door with a big dent in it. Be like, that's the door.
Okay, so
I
you walk.
paused it.
He walks up to the door and he looks at it and he's like, well, this seems like the only option to go. And he turns and looks and sees you guys are... Wait, did you guys all put on gear too, or only Lulu?
No, only Lulu.
So you guys have just been sitting in here freezing? Okay.
Well, we had the fire.
Alright, so he goes to turn the knob and starts to push. Did anybody try to stop him?
Yes, I do, because I know that the acidic slime can't really like do well in the cold. I go to stop him and be like, wait, there's only a few suits. Not all of us can go.
And he turns and sees the lockers that you're pointing at as you point out the suits, and he's like, well, put on the suits. Let's go.
But there's only a few of us. So there's not enough for everybody, I don't think. Some of us have to stay behind.
And then he turns and he sees, I recognize all of you except for you, and he points at you, Zurok. He's like, where did you come from? And then he turns to the rest of you, where did you pick this guy up? Do we trust him?
I don't know if I can't make a really good call on judge a character. He did kind of try to lead me to an angry mob. So no, not really. Actually, good question. Good question.
and why do you have him along? Where did you find him?
I don't know. Where did we find you? I don't even know your name. Who are you?
Zurok.
I am a computer construct of the.
So I think that if we have a beer and not have a suit, we should have enough for everyone. Because I don't think Zurlock needs a suit, and I can just transform.
As you're saying that, Fitz immediately goes over to the locker and starts putting on one of the suits.
I guess he's coming with us. Okay.
I could just hand my transmitter to someone. I could put them in their pants.
Actually,
A
I
transmitter?
can put my pants all right.
What do you mean transmitter? He's got his snow pants halfway on, and he kind of like hops over, and he's like looking at you up and down, like you're odd to him. He doesn't trust you.
wait, guys. Something just occurred to me. If he has a transmitter and stuff, maybe we can somehow plug him into the computer and he can try to, like, I don't know, hack into it.
What are you guys talking about?
I'm in.
That's not a terrible idea.
We could try that. I'm down.
I mean, never hurts to try. And worst case scenario, we do something different next.
So you guys are going to take Zurok's transmitter and do what now?
Try to shove it right into the computer.
Okay.
Yeah, try to see if there's like some way to
USB
plug
port or something.
Zurok, do you resist or do you let them do this?
Yeah, I resist. I don't like being shoved into some random ports.
Okay, so
Your
your transmitter is kind of attached to your, like, the front left area of your shoulder, like, just kind of right behind a little piece of your coat that you're wearing. It's like this little jacket that you have on, and your transmitter is tucked just under there. You guys can kind of see it poking out from under his jacket. Is somebody going to try and grab it?
I put my hand on his shoulder and go, sometimes we have to do things for the team. I turn into a ship.
Do you let him put his hand on your shoulder?
He turns into a ship, he said?
Well, I'm not, like, trying to grab him. I'm just putting his hand on my shoulder to assure him.
Oh.
So you reach out. Are you just going to let him put his hand on your shoulder? Do you
No, I'm gonna try to swat it away.
Okay, so you reach out, Shenanigans, and he swats your hand away.
All right, let's both roll.
So you going to try and force it then?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you need to roll an athletics check, and you can roll acrobatics or athletics, Zurok. 9. Okay, so you go to reach out, and Zurok swats your hand away, and you try to force it, and he grabs your wrist and kind of crushes your jelly wrist into a little clump and pushes it back.
I still look at him and go, look, sometimes we all have to do stuff that we don't want. I got turned into a ship. You gotta go deal with that computer.
Roll a persuasion check, Shenanigans. And then, Codeman, you can decide. So he rolled a 17. You can decide what that means to you, because if you think that nothing would persuade you, then it doesn't matter what he rolls.
Because I feel like I know I'm a computer construct, but I feel like I think I'm like a character. You know, I'm a. You know, I don't want to be plugging myself into computers. I don't know what that's gonna do to me.
Okay, so
you know,
your self-preservation algorithm kicks in, and you resist this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you say all that Shenanigans, and then Zurok, you're not convinced.
No, I would say I was like at least a 15 or whatever. If you were talking about.
Fitz is witnessing this whole exchange, and he looks you up and down. He's like, "What are you?" And then he notices as your little lapel or whatever kind of moves out of the way, he sees the little technological device attached, and he immediately lunges for it.
I'm gonna assist him. I'm gonna hit him with my Zat gun.
Do you still have that? I didn't even know you still had that. All right. Fitz goes to lunge at you, Zurok, and you swat him back down, and he lands back down. He's like, "Let me see that! Let me see that!" And then you take out your Zat gun and shoot him, Rainbow?
Yeah.
Shoot who?
Zurok, I assume, right? Or do you mean Fitz?
Because I want to get the computer thing done.
All right, so Zurok, I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw. Okay, so you shoot this Zat gun, and this bolt of energy kind of fires out, and the gun that you're holding all of a sudden seems to kind of die as the power seems to bleed out from this Zat gun, and the last bolt of energy zips past Zurok as he dodges out of the way, almost stumbling into the fire, but manages to move just right over here out of the way, and the bolt hits the wall back here and just kind of radiates electricity around the whole perimeter of this box that you guys are in, and then dissipates. And just as you do that, Zurok, all of a sudden this little gnome jumps on your back and he's like, "Give me that device! You're not supposed to have that! Who even are you?" And he reaches around and tries to snatch the transmitter from the front of you.
Dang it.
So this is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm starting to get some bad vibes from Fitz all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm gonna like move over to try and like pull Fitz off.
Okay, so Furlough sees this all going on, and he's not too keen on the idea of going after a member of the party here. So Furlough reaches out and he casts Hideous Laughter on Fitz.
Okay.
I'm gonna also cast Hideous Laughter
on Zurok.
Yeah.
All right, so
Hideous Laughter.
Both of you do your rolls for Hideous Laughter. Zurok, you resisted his attempt to grab it again. You threw him backward onto his back on the ground, and he's kind of pissed at this point.
Can I?
Well, for Hideous Laughter, the target just has to make a saving throw.
So
they both have to.
As he hits the ground from you throwing him off, Zurok, he immediately starts busting out laughing. And he just starts, "This is hilarious!" Like, he just can't stop laughing. He's just rolling around on the floor, laughing his ass off.
Very cool.
And then
very cool.
Shenanigans. Zurok.
Wait, what?
I'm rolling for you. Alright, so 10 plus 0, so he fails too. So Zurok, you immediately find everything hilarious. You don't necessarily understand humor, but all of a sudden, it's absolutely hilarious. And you're just laughing. Engaged.
I kind of picture the TNG episode.
Yes, I was going to say that too, when Q makes Data laugh. That's exactly what I was picturing.
I have an idea now that Fitz is laughing.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over to Fitz and I'm gonna ask him, "So what were all those circles on the screen in the station?"
He's just laughing so hard. What do you mean, what circles?
And I was trying to ask him about the solar system thing.
Yeah, so that's his response.
Alright. I was wondering if maybe he would be laughing too hard to realize that maybe if he's trying to hide something, he would forget that he needs to hide that.
Well, I assume you said that out of character to me just now, right?
Yes, I was just explaining to you what I was trying to do.
Okay, I know what you're trying to do.
I know what you're trying to do. It's not working.
Okay.
Alright, so how long does Hideous Laughter last?
Up to a minute.
So a minute rolls around, he stands back up. Well, I don't know why it was so funny, but you really shouldn't have that tech. I want to see it.
What do you know about that tech?
I don't know. That's why I want to look at it.
But you just
Well,
said that
obviously-
But you folks are not supposed to have this kind of technology.
Which tells me you know a lot more than what you're leading on as far as what you know about it. If you have already determined that we shouldn't have it somehow.
You guys stumbled your way into that lab and then onto Tana's station. You guys have no idea what you're dealing with. Only I can decipher whatever it might be.
I'm going to see if he's telling the truth. I'm going to try to make a perception check.
Okay.
So that's going to be a 23 on perception.
Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure we eliminate some confirmation bias here and note that you rolled well. All right, so you detect that he's being a little eccentric and stuff, and you detect that he might be hiding something. But as far as his opinion of you guys goes, he's been maintaining the spider's systems for so long now. Like, he's just fascinated with tech, and he collects gadgets of all kinds, and he wants to see this because he's never seen anything like it before. So you can't really tell that his current motivations are nefarious, but you do feel like he's hiding something.
Yes. I'm not so sure I think you're being completely honest with us.
Fitz just kind of wrinkles his nose and looks at you. He's like, well, I don't really care what you think.
Yeah, so we've noticed.
I decide to pipe up and I say,
Would gold change your mind?
So you're trying
I
to,
look at Lulu and I say, yes, it would.
would gold change your mind on what? Like, what do you mean? What are you trying to do?
on
Yeah, same thing.
trying to bribe him into telling us, like, it seems like he's hiding something, so just offering him that option.
And he just turns and looks at you. He's like, I don't really have any use for gold, and I don't know why you would be giving it to me. What do you want me to do? I just want to see that tech, and I don't think that he should have it. You guys don't even know this guy. You even said you don't trust him.
Yeah, but we don't exactly trust you either.
And he's like, well, true, but I did save all of your lives several times now.
Can't argue with that, sir. But
Maybe he's the
You know
maybe
what?
he's the
Yeah,
black spider.
I mean, again, like, you can save our lives, but it doesn't mean that you're exactly a good guy. This could just be towards your nefarious schemes. If you
So,
are a bad person,
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to persuade him to be a little bit more open with us. I talked to Fitz. It's like, look, we all have our reasons for doing the different things that we do. But right now, there are bigger fish to fry. For all we know, the world is ending in a few days here. What we need to do is we need to be able to be willing to openly share the information we have so that we can get as clear of a picture as possible. Because otherwise, the whole world is pretty much fucked.
Roll me a persuasion check. And also, by the way, you get inspiration for that, and I want you to roll that with advantage.
Ooh.
That was a rousing speech.
all
It
Right,
was
so
beautiful.
+9, so 24.
Okay, so you're talking to him, and finally he kind of calms down, and he's just like, I haven't interacted with another soul for a really long time. I've just been maintaining Tanith and other related systems for years now. I just don't want to see this guy stab us in the back, and we're finally trying to put a stop to everything that's going on and figure things out. So if you're holding on to tech that could help us and you're not trusted by this group, then that's my concern. And then he just says, all I know is the stasis field on Tanith is holding at only 58% right now, and it could start falling at any moment.
Okay, so how about this? We allow you to look at the tech or whatever word you used. I don't remember what you said. We allow you to look at it, hold on to it, but you come with us looking for another area so that we could get to the bottom of what's going on here.
Also, no harm comes to Zurok.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, Zurok, are you even agreeing with them? Because they're kind of speaking for you.
He's kind
Alright.
of, I agree.
He's done around the same time as Fitz was done.
I bend over and pull down my pants. I'm like, all right, stick it in.
Wow. I think you have the wrong idea. I just wanted to see that device on your shoulder.
Fuck my entire life up, fam.
You see, in Zurok's native tongue, the words device and anus actually share a lot of common sound.
Are you actually saying that?
Yes.
Roll a deception check.
Please, nat 20.
For deception, that's going to be 16.
Okay, so he gives you the side eye and the kind of like, okay. And then he's just like, I just want to see that device on your shoulder. Do you respond to that, Zorak, or do you still hang on to it?
I say, this device on my shoulder is me.
What do you mean?
This is how I exist. This device is me. If this device is destroyed, I am done.
He's very confused, and he's just like, well, all right. I'm keeping my eye on you, though. You're kind of shady.
I look at Fitz and I'm like, okay, let me try to see if I can put this into terms that you might understand a little bit better. I know you've done quite a bit of research and investigation into the origins of Signvolk.
Yes? Well, I know about Signvolk. I've only recently discovered their origin, and I kind of feel awful.
So think of it as this. Think of how there is a starting point, and then there is something that essentially generates that Signvolk. You following so far?
Okay.
Essentially, that transmitter or that device generates Zorak there, as in it allows him to spring to life.
Are you telling me that you're not a real person?
I'm a real boy.
I knew people weren't real.
It's right up there with birds. But yeah, does that make sense?
Well, no, but okay.
I'm scared.
So if that device is damaged, Zorak is essentially dead.
As you said, a little sparks off of the device. He's like, it looks like it already is damaged.
Yes, but we can't afford for it to be damaged any further.
Well, maybe I can fix it. All you gotta do is let me look at it.
I want to roll a perception.
Oh,
Does he know how to
I keep
fix
forgetting
this?
I have to do it for you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I was messing with it. I can't figure out why I can't.
So you're kind of socially inept as a computer program here, and so you kind of can't tell if he's being honest or not. Seems genuine to you.
I look at Zark. If he kills you, he'll die as well.
Thank you for your word. Appreciate that.
By the way, while everyone's doing this, I'm already like over towards the other suiting up, getting ready to like leave.
Okay.
I'm kind of getting impatient here.
I think it's
Hava Bear joins you. Hava Bear's also putting on a suit.
I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna take this full circle. I'm like, well, what do you think to gain from plugging me into this computer?
Plugging you into the computer?
Yeah, wasn't that the goal of?
That was the
what
rest
you
of the
were trying to
party's
do?
goal. Fitz just wants to see the device that he's caught his eye so far. He doesn't know anything about your guys' plan to plug you into the computer.
Oh, what? Yes.
Furlough and everyone else in the party totally wants to plug you into the computer, and you resisted. Because
Well, Furlough didn't really have anything to do with that discussion. That was more along the lines of some of the others.
yeah, but Fitz, listening to this discussion, just noticed that it was watching you. It was already suspicious of you, and then noticed you had some tech on you. That's all. And Fitz is like totally my precious about new tech.
Oh, okay.
Totally my. Love that analogy, actually.
And I'm like, no, I'm not just supposed to be stuck in everything that you see, like electronic. I mean, I'm a being.
I'm a person. I'm not an object.
I'm a real boy.
All right, so Fitz finally gives up, but he's just going to keep his eye on you. If the rest of the party wants to try to convince Zorak to give up his transmitter, they can, but...
I mean, Zorak has a pretty good point, to be honest, so I'm not going to try and force him to do anything he doesn't want to do.
If you do believe that Fitz can fix your transmitter, though, you're welcome to hand it to him and see what he can do. That's up to you, whether you want to give it up. They've kind of given up trying to take it from you.
Yo, he says it with such vitriol. Give it up. Trying to take it.
And Fitz is like, is he pretty smart? Like he's.
Yeah, so
pretty
he's
good with computer stuff.
Yeah, he's helped. They brought him here because he's good with this tech. He's helped maintain it for the Black Spider.
I don't think I trust him because he works for the Black Spider, though.
He did. but he's been trying to help these guys bring him down. He worked for the Black Spider because the Black Spider threatened his family.
Oh, okay. You know
Right.
what? Yeah, I'm gonna allow him. I'm gonna allow him to take a look at my transmitter.
Okay, so you hand it over, and he looks at it. He's like, "Wow, this is fascinating. I've never seen anything like this before. I assume you guys found this through the rifts that lead to all sorts of fancy, fascinating places." He kind of just asks that
Yeah.
generally. If anyone
We
answers.
found it in a restroom.
We found.
Found in a restroom.
And he hits a little button on the side, and then all of a sudden you vanish from view, and he jumps backward about a foot, like, "What the? What happened? Where'd he go? I knew he was up to no good." And then you guys say anything as this happens?
It's like all you did was shut him off. You should be able to turn him back on again.
Oh, and suddenly it clicks, like everything you've been saying to him. Suddenly it all makes sense now that he's actually witnessed it. And he flips the switch back the other direction, or presses the button. It's not a switch. Hits the button, and you appear back to life, and a little spark flies out of the device. Wow! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to turn you off. No wonder you're so socially awkward. You're a computer program.
Yes. I
Yes, I am.
He reaches into this little satchel he has at his side, and he pulls out like a little tiny screwdriver, and he looks around the edges, and he finds this little notch, and he sticks this little flathead screwdriver in there and pops it open. And you see this little circuit board in there, and part of it is damaged. The corner of it is kind of chipped off, and these little contacts are periodically hitting the casing and making a spark. And
So,
he reaches back into his satchel and he pulls out this little adhesive, this little a tube of some type of adhesive, and he squeezes out a tiny little dab of it into this thing, and then he kind of just repositions the broken piece of circuit board back into place, and then he starts to blow on it and lets it sit there for a second.
so
Ooh,
I'm gonna walk
blood.
up to him. I'm gonna give him the pieces of the I guess the Zach gun. I'm gonna go. Can you use this for anything?
What do you
I
mean
have no
pieces
idea what
of
this
it?
thing is.
I'm just gonna give him the Zach gun and see if he can use it as any pieces off of this gun.
Oh, okay. So he takes he closes the casing on this transmitter, and then all of a sudden the lights in the corner light back up again as the circuitry makes full contact with the rest of itself inside, and this thing looks pretty pristine now at this point. And suddenly, Zurok, you realize that you have an autonomous mode where you can put yourself to sleep basically to save power and to regenerate some of your abilities. And but your character will still continue to exist and not just vanish all the time. And so you kind
mean
of
like I
basic
can rest?
like autopilot basically.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, also you can rest. Like when you're on autopilot, you're basically resting. But if autopilot won't do anything but like follow other people around and stuff like that.
So I could just like respawn in front of this guy, like suddenly, right? He fixes.
Oh,
me.
he already brought you back. You're
Oh,
standing
okay.
there. You're standing there watching him open up this device as he fixed it.
He was trying to go for the spooks, bro.
And then he hands the device back to you, and he's like, well, I would love to have a closer look at that later, but as promised, here you go. And he hands it back. And then he sees you handing him the Zach gun. He's like, oh, wow, another fancy piece of technology. And he looks at it and just kind of examines it. He's like, what's it do? And he pulls the little trigger button. Nothing happens.
It zaps people. It's dead now though.
Is this what you fired at this fellow here? And he points to Zurok.
Yeah.
Interesting. And he puts it in his satchel.
I'm gonna remove that from my inventory.
Okay. All right.
He just takes it.
Wait, so if we're all showing him cool tech stuff if we're all showing him this cool tech stuff, I'm gonna decide to like put on, I guess take off a glove to put it back on, or show it.
Okay.
My hand bracelet. I'm gonna show him my hand bracelet.
Okay, so you pull out this bracelet. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I really want Lulu to say, "Look what I can do," and like kind of joke.
So you pull out this hand device, and it's ornate. It's like gold, and it kind of has these spirals as it wraps around a humanoid arm. And on the back of where it would be on the back of the hand, it's got this purple jewel, and the jewel just kind of glows very faintly. And it catches his eye immediately, and he says, "Oh, where did you get that?"
I don't know. I always had it.
You don't know what it is?
Nope.
And he's like, "This is a hand device. This is used by the Black Spider's highest minions."
Wait, so am I one of his minions?
I don't know. Are you?
I don't think so.
You are a Simevolk. The Simevolk do, the Black Spider's will.
I'm a good Simevolk.
And I pull out my bow and I point it at him. I just kind of pull it out and I go, "Do you work for the Black Spider?"
I already told you that.
I think he's pointing at Lulu.
Oh, at Lulu.
Oh, Lulu.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I mean, you guys saw me appear.
I mean,
existence.
Wait, so we understand that like the idea is that or well, rather not the idea, but that Lulu was a sacrifice of some sort.
So it ate a person's body, or
like Philosopher stoned him in order to make him into what he is, right?
Yeah, so you recall from the things that you've learned in the lab, and Fitz knows all this too, so if you guys need to remember, you can ask him too, but Lulu was the last natural Simevolk experiment, meaning they just gave the ooze a sentient being to consume, and then the Simevolk would naturally form from that over the period of like 2 months. The Black Spider's later experiments are all about artificially enhancing that process so that it's quick, and also that the resulting entity could be more controllable, etc., etc. So
is she though the last natural Simevolk?
According to the stuff you guys found in the lab, yeah.
Because I was made right after.
If she is,
yeah,
then the
you
Black
were made
Spider
from
might
a
be
failed
controlling her.
Simevolk experiment. You're all a toxic sludge.
We might have a freaking spy in our midst.
I mean, you could have been a willing subject.
If they're all talking about how I might be a spy, I'm sure, or like how I may have come to be. Didn't Fitz read all about my history and how I was made?
I was actually Fitz was just about to pipe up and say, well, from what I understand, Simevolk don't remember their predecessors.
Right. So then that means that the predecessor could have been a willing participant.
But the predecessor has no control over the resulting entity, at least not when they're formed naturally.
Maybe they don't remember being an ally to...
the point is, whoever was consumed to become Lulu is no more and has no control over Lulu, and Lulu is her own person.
For now. But yes, okay, I see what your point is.
Okay.
Shenanigans, however, I have no idea what experiment he resulted from.
I have no idea what the fuck he is.
So I look at Fitz and I go, we was having a discussion earlier. Is it just one spider, or is there like a black spider, a blue spider, and a pink spider?
All we know him as is the Black Spider. He commands everyone, commands the minions. I've never actually talked to him myself. He only sends orders down from the top.
So when he was explaining how Simevolk were made, I kind of like...
Wait, how was I made?
This is news
Well,
to
you
me.
see, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much. I'm just kidding.
They sacrifice their closest friend to an ooze.
Well, basically, like this is Fitz's chance to like go like, you don't worry about that, or actually explain it.
You're just blue stuff.
I'm blue. The guy. I'm a
All right.
That was a good session.
Yeah, it started off a little slow, but then I feel like it kind of really picked up.
It snowballed so far.
All right, well, real quick, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody who happens to be listening to the show. Those of you who are watching the stream or found us on YouTube, thank you. If you have any feedback for us, feel free to email me for now, chev@chevtech.io, chevtek.io. If you have any constructive criticism for the show, feel free to send it our way, and we'll read your email on air, most likely. You can catch us next week. We should have a website soon, hopefully, with disadvantage.com. I thought I was going to have that soon, but it's not quite up yet. But we are now on all the podcast feeds, so Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, you name it. You should be able to find us with disadvantage.
If your company wants to sponsor us with booze, just email Chev.
If you have deconstructive criticism, send it to PJ at ChevCast.com.
And hope you're having a great day wherever you might be, guys.
Yes. So wholesome.
With Disadvantage is hosted by our Dungeon Master Chev, starring Pete Jitty, Dakota, Rainbow Kitten, Mirima, Evil Lord Boris, Bunsen Gyro, Deranged Play, and sometimes Codeman. Recorded by Chev, editing by DJ Catface. Dungeons & Dragons is the property of Wizards of the Coast. Executive produced by Chev Tech.